Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, San Antonio. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman, the new guy.
I don't think you're new anymore. We're at show 9.
That's true. Man, who would have thought I'd make it this far?
I mean, way back when we first saw you, who'd have thought would have come this many years?
It's funny after Edwin took his 2 days off because Edwin apparently can't work a full week.
Like a third of your career here.
Can't work a full week. He kicked open the door this morning.
He did.
Oh, you're still here.
Oh.
He was surprised to see me. He's like, man, I really didn't think you were going to make it. Thought I'd take my 2 days off in the middle of the week and I'd come back and you'd be gone, Bubba. Yet here I am. We've done a lot of complaining about traffic here. And I read a story this morning and it made my blood boil, Rob. First of all, it's out of Dallas. They're the Dallas area, suburban Dallas, Rockwall, Texas.
Oh, God, the Rockwall, Karens, and Todds. All right, let's hear this.
These son of a guns. So here's the deal. There's a big church there, one of those mega churches. They call it Lake Point Church.
Yeah, that's a...
And they are trying to get a traffic light put in.
Well, God needs a traffic light.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like, hey, God understood that traffic was too bad. We need a light.
Yes.
And the pastor said he understood traffic was too bad for me. I needed a private jet.
Yes.
And he gave them one.
Yes.
He blessed him.
Yes.
Blessed him with one. And this is one of the largest and fastest growing churches in the country. These sorry bastards, this is what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
Because they wanted to, basically when you ask for this stoplight, there's a city mandated study.
Yeah, you have to, of course.
Does this warrant it?
Required? Is there a number of cars to justify the need?
So just to make sure that, and by the way, we don't like to question the results of elections. It's always bad news, but it feels like maybe this is rigged. Here's what they did. They asked their church members to go up and down the road in front of the church.
To add to the volume of vehicles.
The traffic.
Actually,
make more traffic.
Hey, I'm going to take some hats off to this. I'm going to give a little bit of respect. That's thinking outside the box, baby.
Unless you're not one of the church members and you're trying to drive by this place.
I just give credit where it's due. That's all I'm doing.
They had people sign up for a driving shift during a 5-day study to pad the numbers. Each shift is a commitment to drive the prescribed route 10 times within the hour shift. It's great if you make more than 10 laps within the hour, but laps are only counted toward that specific shift.
How many laps do they need? Does God require?
How many
laps does God cast upon his flock?
10% of your laps.
10% of the laps.
You've got to tithe your mileage.
Shall thy tithe?
Yeah, if you've
to
got
the Lord thy God.
How many miles does your lease allow? You owe the church 10% of those miles.
No. God didn't issue the lease.
Here's the problem, though.
There's always a problem. Those meddling kids.
Yeah, the emails that they sent out, the emails that this massive church sent out to all their members, got leaked. And
man,
now if you live
the Methodists, I blame the Methodists for this.
If you live around that church and you don't go to the church, you're not happy because now I can't get anywhere I'm going on time. Because everybody's driving their shifts, and even the city's like, this is someone, a former Lake Point member who left the church earlier this year says they believe we are so dumb. It's almost laughable how brazen they are. And this is, she said that something's changed with the leaders. So she had to get out.
Well,
But they're saying that this was a, quote, unfortunate decision made by a staffer.
Hey, man.
It's
looking for loopholes, baby. They found one. I think we give them some credit. God did lead them in a unique direction.
I don't think so, though. Here's the thing:
Oh,
the decision was made without knowledge by senior executive leadership.
Of course. Well, the senior executive global pastors were doing raising the dead. They're not paying attention to the little stuff.
Only the senior executive leadership has the direct pipeline to know what God wants.
Yes, they got the corner office. That's the only place God can reach.
Junior executives do not get their own jets. They do not get helicopters.
Well, they get a little jet.
I don't think so.
No, it's a prop. It's a plane.
I think they fly first class.
Well, maybe first class.
I don't, but it's never coach, but yeah.
Have you ever watched the fabulous Gemstones on HBO?
I've not.
You need to watch it.
Okay. What's the
they are
the
TV
premise?
preachers.
Oh, I love it.
And wrestlers.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking, baby. So bad news. Here's their statement. We regret how this reflects on the body of Christ and its impact in our community.
Get that. We regret that some sinner reply all.
We love our city and have much respect for our leaders. We will continue to work with the city and make the traffic around Lake Point as safe as possible. The traffic study, by the way, is now canceled. So
I think that God works in mysterious ways, AJ.
The guy that's been that's kind of in the midst of this, Josh Howerton is
that's a made up name.
No, that's a senior pastor name. He succeeded a longtime pastor in 2020, but he has been accused of plagiarizing his sermons.
Well, I think in most instances you can claim every sermon's plagiarized.
Well, they all use the same book.
They're all coming from the same books, but anyway.
Like there hasn't been an updated version of that in years.
And the ones that are a little weird. Last one I saw had a constitution in it. I don't remember that being part of anything. But anyway.
Making sexist remarks in his sermons, which we'll have another conversation on that later in the show.
Brother Butker's working over at the
yes. And denouncing his critics as liberal from the pulpit.
How dare them?
And he drew some ire earlier this year for telling women how to act on their wedding night in order to fulfill their new husband's desires. Just stand where he tells you to stand, wear what he tells you to wear, do what he tells you to do, and you're going to make him the happiest man in the world.
Oh.
Exactly.
Stand. Let's all take just a moment and say a little prayer against them. Can we do that?
I mean, listen, you're trying to game the traffic laws. That's like you
got to give some respect to that, though.
I mean,
they had to pray for days to get that kind of guidance.
At some point, you've got to give God a break and be like, "Hey, we're praying for there's war in the Middle East."
No, man. I got to get to Luby's after church, and there's no light.
The economy is a mess. That we've got a national leadership decision coming up, and they're like, "No,
have you ever
we need to pray for that Scott?
Have you ever gotten in line behind the Lutherans? Those Lutherans, they just chaos on Sundays.
Well,
we need the red light. The Lutherans get there and they take all the fish.
It's been ordained.
No,
we must have this light. Jesus decided that this light was not in the works for them. And they say
the traffic lights.
God answers all prayers, they say, but sometimes it's with a no.
And other times it's a way to game the government.
Sometimes God says, no, I'm not going to give you that. But he does give you an answer, but it's just
thou shalt gather ye flock and start the engines.
Yeah.
And work in shifts.
And they talk about the results basically impact how much a church or property owner would have to pay for the light.
We're really spending too much time on traffic and not enough time on wedding advice. We really need to focus on what's important here, what's going on at the Lakeside Church.
I mean, I think that there's some people.
Is there a manual that came along with this? Is there like a how-to that they put together? Is that also in their new Bible?
No.
Like stand where you stand and
No, I don't
put
think
on your funny hat.
But
Did I say that out loud?
Here's the big problem, though.
You will spanketh thy husband. Did I say that?
People are talking about him like he's plagiarizing. Harrison Butker plagiarized his whole speech and then just used it at that commencement. So I don't know. I don't
Brother
know.
Butker.
Now, Brother Butker was right.
Some fine words from Brother Butker.
He's trying to tell you women just to behave appropriately.
Stand where we tell you to stand.
Churn your butter and shine your husband's shoe.
Did you ever learn to churn your butter?
Wake up early and milk the cows, for God's sake. Bring your man a fresh glass.
You guys act like there's something wrong we're saying.
I mean,
I don't know why everybody's mad.
Yeah. And then after you milk the cows, just stand where he tells you to stand.
Put on your funny hat and do as we're told.
And don't wait at the stoplight. We don't have time.
Well, first you got to pull your shift. God needs your 3 a.m. traffic shift, and then take care of your man later on.
As someone who I've now moved back to a traffic city, and I hate traffic. I hate anyone who's like purposely making more traffic. Don't do this to me.
We have a standing commitment here on the Radio Ranch. If you're going to take care of your own life on a bridge, we shouldn't have to.
Yeah, don't do it. Make sure you go into the water. Something like we don't need it.
No.
Don't slow me down.
No, we have other things to do.
All right. And speaking of other things to do, we're not going to talk about traffic and mega churches all day.
We should, though.
It would be fun, wouldn't it? The Dallas Cowboys schedule. I don't know if you heard this, Rob. 31 other teams released their schedule yesterday.
Really,
I
all
got
that
the
matters
notes.
is how does it affect the Cowboys schedule?
I got the notes in here from the producers, and it's like the Cowboys released the schedule. Like they decided we're going to put our stuff out. Like they had to say, not the NFL, just the Cowboys. I'm surprised the Cowboys didn't come out yesterday and the other teams today.
Well, it's in the new Lord's Bible that the Dallas Cowboys, along with the ladies, must do as we ask.
That's right.
And they provided the schedule on time.
Jerry Jones says, you stand where I want you to stand.
Stand where I want you to stand.
Put out the schedule when I want you to put it out.
And put on the Lord's blessed garter belts.
We'll talk about that schedule. I'll be honest. I'm surprised at this. Rob is more pessimistic after seeing the schedule than I am. We'll discuss that on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
94.1 FM, San Antonio's Sports Star.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or being threatened by the IRS that your wages are about to be garnished or bank accounts are going to be levied? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has professionals ready to fight for you. Their enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs have saved millions of dollars for taxpayers just like you. They won't just resolve your tax problems. They'll most importantly protect your wages, bank accounts, and all your assets from being taken by the IRS. Call for a free consultation. 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174 or go to alliestaxrelief.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks. Fantasy, you're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
With AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Boom, 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 ba-da-doo, boom, boom. What is up? The Morning Huddle. Man, I wish that had a second verse. I mean, it just ends so abruptly.
That's enough, man. That's that we got enough of that.
Kyle says, what are we talking about here?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the Lord's traffic problems. And welcome back to Texas, AJ. Winner of the Newlywed game back in the day. My wife says, hi, Keith. Hello, Keith. And hello to your lovely wife.
I don't get the
we did a Newlywed game like on a Valentine's Day back in the day, my old show. And Keith and his wife won. And,
they're still together.
You know, I don't remember, Keith, I don't remember your wife's name. Forgive me if you post it on that chat. I'd love to see it.
You didn't ask, like, where's the strangest place you've had sex?
This is how they won, to be honest. It was I think it was one of the questions was, who's the first person your wife had sex with?
Oh, see. Yeah.
And in their case, there was 4 couples, and in their case, he was the only one. Like, she was a virgin when they got together. So it was almost like an unfair advantage that, like, he knew the answer.
Virginity is always an unfair advantage.
It really is, man. It really is.
That's what they told me in school anyway.
And I hope for Keith's sake that's still the case, that he's the only man she slept with. But she is a very lovely woman. So
they're still together. So whatever has floated their boat till now, keep doing.
Maybe they're wearing upside down pineapples.
Maybe she's standing where he asked her to stand. You know, the Lord
that is right. Saith, that is right.
Put on the blessed push-up bra.
That is true. The Dallas Cowboys schedule came out yesterday, and man, when Rob was in here this morning, he was looking at this thing with his hand on his forehead, just going, oh no.
I'm telling you.
Oh no. What are we going to do? Rob thinks that he was going through, he's like, loss. I mean, Give me some positive from this first. Give me the good news first,
The
Rob,
good
before
news
you hit me
is-
with the bad news.
Okay,
They play the NFC
What
South.
Jerry has brilliantly manufactured here in this, as he advocated for his schedule, is once we head out to California for training camp, Jerry don't got to leave. We can stay in the friendly confines of Oxnard to LA, go to the beaches, hang out at all the coolest clubs, and not really even have to do anything until we got to go to Cleveland in September. I mean, they get to stay in LA for the Rams game, the Raiders game. They get to jet down for a nice night in Vegas.
Yeah.
Head over, have a nice meal, fly home, take on the Chargers early, get rested and recreated for what will be remembered in October as the Baton Death March. October is brutal for the Cowboys.
Well, I mean, it can't be that brutal. They get a bye week.
Well, yeah. Did you see what happened before and then what happens after?
They never gave the guys on the Baton Death March a bye week. They never said, you guys, I know, take a day off from this death march.
Probably an unfortunate reference to a heroic time. But Baltimore, I don't care where you play in Baltimore. This is an offensive line that just lost one, maybe two Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
The Giants is a district game, conference game that matters. This going to Pittsburgh, Detroit. I don't think Detroit's going to stupid up a game again. Get a week off to stare at San Francisco for a week, man. This is if they can survive. If they go 500, it's an achievement.
I'm with you. Although I will say, like in that 4-game run before the bye, the two more difficult games are home games.
There is some value to that, but not much.
The game where you have short rest is the weakest opponent, which is the Giants. So you've got because that's a Thursday night game.
So we're 1-4 in this little stretch.
Well, I'm looking for the positives.
I'm not saying that it's all horrible, but you don't get much of a break coming back. You get the 49ers after the bye, and Atlanta probably a bye, but you never know what's going on. There's a lot of offense there.
Yeah.
Eagles, Texans right after that.
Both of those are home games.
The meat of the schedule, they get the tough ones at home, so there is some benefit there. But about this time, I think we're going to start realizing that this exodus of talent might have been band-aided with some starters, but the backups, when the injuries start occurring, when you start seeing the injury list grow, as you always do in November, that's when the Cowboys are going to be in trouble. That those three games in 2 weeks, and you got 3 dudes unable to practice, unable to play on what is already a skinny roster. Man.
Yeah, there's some the home schedule is more difficult than the road schedule, certainly.
It is.
And I think part of that is, first of all, there's no easy game in the AFC North, but I think the 2 tougher games are Baltimore and Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
If we're assuming all quarterbacks are healthy. But those road games at Pittsburgh, at Cleveland aren't easy. At San Francisco's, that's the monster road game. That's the toughest road game. That's the one that it's hard to envision Dallas winning. But these home games, like you said, Eagles, Texans back to back. You got Cincinnati and Tampa sandwiching a road game against the Panthers. Like there's some tough ones, man. And that Detroit game is gonna be tough. But that's
6 national games, which is not surprising.
That is a lot.
Well,
but
it's the Cowboys.
It's the standard.
Yeah.
What's funny is I want to say the Houston Texans
they do have 6 as well. Talk about some respect.
I mean, the Texans are almost like when I was doing the show in Houston, you could almost pencil it in noon.
Your afternoon's free.
Like that's what it was. But I mean, you talk about what a difference a quarterback makes. Although even when they had Deshaun Watson, it was just like,
seriously, it's funny that even when at the peak, it was still noon game.
Well, you know why?
Right.
Deshaun would only play noon games because he had evening massages set up. He was like, I'm not breaking my schedule.
He tightens up in the evening. That's right.
Like I don't have time for that. I got to get my rub down. It's going to be tough, no doubt. But I don't know that it's a murderer's row. I mean, to me, if you're worried about this Cowboys schedule, you're just worried about the Cowboys.
I think that's probably the broader,
because all of these teams that they're playing, with the exception of maybe Baltimore and San Francisco, I would put Dallas like on equal footing with them. Like I would say Dallas is as good or better than every team on their schedule with the exception of San Francisco and Baltimore on paper.
Well, Detroit.
I think they're as good as Detroit.
Okay.
I mean,
they have added some talent, but you're probably right. No, you definitely. What about the Bengals? That's a pretty talented team.
It's a good team,
Yeah.
but again, you're getting them at home. I don't know that the Bengals have proven themselves as like a force, and
that's late in the season.
That's late in the season. Who knows where Joe Burrow's at?
By the way, a Monday night game.
Yeah. And again, both those two teams, both the ones you questioned, Detroit and Cincinnati.
You're bringing me off.
Games.
You're bringing me off the ledge. But again, this is a team that is less talented and they're less talented at positions that matter.
Yeah,
playing against and on an offensive line, playing against several of the top defenses, whether by number or by reputation. The kind of defenses that Dak has traditionally had trouble with, the squelching, just we're all in your face, you're going to have to earn every yard kind of defense.
Yeah, hey, listen, Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, you're going to play some tough defenses. Tampa.
Yeah.
But, I mean, everybody's doing that.
For me, when I think Dak, I think he's always most successful with the risk-taking defenses. The blitzing, we're going to come at you in strange angles, and he'll find the right guy at the right time and beat you. It's the teams that play like the 49ers and Baltimore that just
can beat you without blitzing,
just squelch you and leave you with forcing you to make the play and not react to their play.
Well,
and
that's Cleveland,
his weakest part.
Like the Cleveland doesn't have to blitz. They've got a guy named Myles Garrett.
Right.
You may have heard of him. He's good at sports.
I'll tell you.
And
sports. The AFC North was that is a snake pit, man.
It is. But here's the beauty of it. And they're talking about the same thing in the DMV. They're talking about it in Philly. They're talking about it in New York. This schedule, this AFC North.
True.
So
True.
It's like, it's not
Those
just,
guys are tough.
It's not just in Texas. Everybody's looking at it and going, man, we got to play the AFC North this year. That sucks. Like it does. Whoever draws AFC North
as your chosen, or the West, AFC West. Which of the two, if you had?
I'd much rather have the West.
Would you?
Yeah. Like,
but Denver's not what they were. But
yeah,
the
Chiefs are good. You know the Chiefs are good, just like the Ravens are good.
Right.
But would it shock you if any other team in the AFC West finished below 500? The answer is no.
You're right. I just keep thinking, and my thought is you're playing there for all of them. And, no matter how bad Denver is, Denver's still Denver. And while the Raiders are more talented, it's still the Raiders, even though it's Vegas and not Oakland in that pit. For me, there's always a worry about the West because you can roll in there and get pantsed, just 42-14 and not know what happened to you. At least in Cleveland, you're never going to lose by more than 10. And, Baltimore, you're not going to lose by more than 10 because they just can't score that much.
Yeah, I just don't. And that's the other thing is in the AFC West, I don't know who the quarterback is for the Raiders.
Truth.
I don't know who the quarterback is for the Browns.
3 years
for the
ago,
Bengals.
than
Or not
what
the
is
Bengals,
current. You're
the
right.
Broncos. All right, we're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to get into some hoops. I promise we're not done talking schedule. We're going to hit that again at the bottom of the 8 hour. The bottom of the 7 hour. We're going to get more into the schedule. So 7:30, we'll be back on that. And that'll also be your first opportunity to win, get registered to win some tickets to ACL Fest, a couple wristbands to ACL Fest. Listen at 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, or listen to the Blitz at 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, and 5:30, and you get qualified. We've qualified 9 people on this show this week. We're going to do 6 more, and then we're going to draw somebody's name, and they are going to go to ACL, or they're going to, I don't know, they're going to sell those tickets. I don't know.
I can tell you that.
But either way, if you don't win them, you can buy them, aclfest.com. We'll do that at 7:30. We'll be right back. We're going to talk Mavs Thunder. We'll talk some Celtics Cavs. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The grilling season is upon us. We're heading toward one of our 4 majors in Memorial Day, just around the corner. So you need to prepare appropriately. And how do you play? You practice like you're going to play this weekend. Practice like it's a game. Head over to Tri-County Meat Market and do something all-American. Practice for July 4th. Go get a big old batch of their in-house made dogs. We're talking about hot dogs of a gourmet quality. You will not find a better hot dog. No nitrates, made right in there. It is the real deal if you're going to do some dogs on the 4th. Practice for the big holidays coming up. Head over to Tri-County this week. And they've always got the steaks on special. If you haven't had any of their inch-thick porterhouses. Well, you haven't really lived now, have you? Head over to Tri-County today. They'll get them cut for you if they don't have it already made. If you're looking for a brand new rub, try a house-made rub. Joe's got him a rub, and it is spectacular. That's reason enough to head over to either one of the two locations, over on Heebner, out on Ralph Ferry, either way, to get over and get your good meat. Listen to me close. A great meal starts with good meat that starts at Prime and heads to Wagyu. That's Tri-County. Get some of their good meat, put it on the grill, and I know you're going to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Thursday on The Blitz, all the NBA playoff reaction, but the big news of the day is the NFL schedule release. We'll talk about it with Sean Merriman as he joined us at 2:35. We'll take a look at all the Cowboy primetime matchups and the Houston Texans big games as John McClain from HoustonTexans.com joins us at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Get the last water softener you'll ever own and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE Kinetico.
Visit KineticoSA.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The 2024 NFL schedule, powered by AWS, been released, and single game tickets are on sale now. That's every epic showdown, every classic rivalry, every primetime game. 17 games for all 32 teams. Visit NFL.com/tickets to purchase tickets today. The NFL Ticket Network, including Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, and Sports Illustrated Tickets, are the official marketplaces for NFL tickets.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, it's here. Everyone stay calm. It's Kohl's lowest prices of the season. And when I say low, I mean low. I got my kids jumping beans tees for $3.99. Treated myself to some cute tees and tank tops under $5. And got great finds for our patio, 50% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash on all of it. Sounds too good to be true? Well, I guess you'll have to go to Kohl's and find out for yourself. Select styles. Offers in May 15th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
For the last 4 decades, San Antonio sports has dared this community to dream big through the transformational power of sport. For 40 years, we've inspired youth to get in the game, motivated San Antonians to live healthy, been a force behind places to play, and hosted events that impact. As we celebrate 40 years of dreaming big, we invite you to dream big along with us. To support our mission, donate today at sanantoniosports.org.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Man, Rob, I told you yesterday I was trying to make a commitment to drinking more water. You see my giant mug of water here? I drank 2 of those yesterday. Went home to take a nap.
How you feeling?
Woke up 3 times during my nap to pee.
Sucks.
That's kind of the like they're like, oh, it's good for you. Drink the water.
You will adjust. That will get better.
Just need to have like a camel hump or something that I can just store.
It's funny how suddenly your body doesn't know what to do with it initially, but after a week or so, you don't. It kind of that need goes away, and then, but it is in preparation for later years.
Okay,
you're gonna have to prepare yourself for this eventually.
Just to get up all the time.
Yeah, it's coming. So might as well start now.
The Mavs take a 3-2 lead. And boy, there's more egg on AJ's face because I bought into it. I bought into these young cats and the moves they were making and felt like, man, this is their time. This is their time. And it's just not going their way. The Mavericks, I mean, it was really, there were 3 quarters that were played almost even, but the 10 minutes before halftime, the Mavericks just dominated. And I thought maybe the Thunder would get back in it. They never found themselves working their way back in. I'll ask you, because I think you look at this Mavericks team the same way. There's times when you know that Luka can take over a game and dominate, and last night was certainly one of those. And if that Luka shows up for work, then man, you're in really good shape if you're Dallas,
or for against anybody. I mean, the way he played last night would have beaten just about anybody. But he has to play like that to beat anybody. And Shea has to learn how to play like that to beat anybody, and he hadn't quite got it yet. I mean, he's playing well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Shea and Luka had almost the exact same line.
But it seems to me with Shea, because he is such an unobtrusive scorer, he's the kind of guy that you look at the end of the game, you look at his stat book, he took 14 shots. I don't even remember him, but he's got 28 and has had a full game, but nothing that really kind of jumps off the page. Luka last night had the kind of night that makes you an MVP, that you knew every time he touched the ball, something good was going to happen. And only half the time was at him. I mean, he was dialed in passing as well as he was shooting. He was dropping dimes, the likes of which only 3 or 4 guys in the world can do last night.
Yeah. And then like the Mavericks, even when they would go on a dry spell, and it happened in the fourth quarter, they went over, I want to say over 3.5 minutes without a point,
which is,
and it's
when
like
you rely on one dude.
And when it's a 10-point game and you start a run where you go 10 minutes without a point, it can tighten up real fast, and it just didn't. Like the Thunder didn't take advantage of it. I think they cut the lead to I think 8 or something like that.
Might have gotten closer to that, like 6-4. I mean, it got real tight there but I never thought Dallas was going to fall off the cliff.
Never felt like they were in trouble, and they just kind of cruise in Game 5. And I said this yesterday, and as much as it pains me to say it, I think the Thunder are done. I mean, I think this was their big chance. If you're not winning that game at home, I don't see them winning the next 2. And if they do, I mean, hell, good on them. But if this felt like their real opportunity. I know you've kind of talked about them backing into to be in the 1 seed, and they did. But even the fact that they were in a position to be backed into it tells you something about the season that they had. Right. But you've said this a lot, man. It's steps. You can't just show up and go from being the play-in team to the NBA champions. It's so rare, and it's hard to skip steps. And it looks like the Thunder and the Timberwolves, just like anybody else, going to have to wait their turn, at least now. And the Mavericks are one of the teams over the last several years that it's been like, when are they going to do it? Because Luka, all we've heard is how good Luka is. oh, now we're seeing it. Now we're like, okay, this is what everybody was talking about. Later on in the show, I have a theory that I want to run by you about guys like Luka and Jason Tatum, who we'll talk about here on the other side. But I think that this has a real potential to be where Luka goes from the guy who's eventually going to be like. Remember 3 years ago, we thought he was going to be the best player in the league. Like it was pretty much.
Well, he was set up for the best team he'd ever had. You know, they had Porzingis in there. They had the threats. They had a deep bench. Remember, Brunson was around.
Yep.
I mean, they had a lot of things, and it felt like he was primed. And they had a nice little run there in the playoffs. They kind of stumbled during the season and found their way. And then the Kyrie move happened, and everybody just kind of lost focus on Luka.
This could be where Luka says, "Okay, now's my time." I mean, that's a real possibility. So, good on him. Like I said, great game yesterday. You've talked. You talked during the pre-show about PJ Washington, who was solid again. He's been a great contributor for them. Was great again last night. Yeah. And Derek Jones with a big game too.
That's those three. And I think this is the difference in why I've discounted them all season. Is first of all, I didn't give Kidd enough defensive credit. They're better defensively. When they roll out Gafford, PJ, Derek Jones, and Derek Lively, when they have three of any of those four guys out there, that is an incredibly bouncy, laterally quick defensive team. They're long. They interfere in passing lanes. They're active. They still foul a little bit more, I mean, than they should defensively, but they're a lot more physically gifted defensively than I think we thought they were. They're kind of a poor man's Minnesota. When they roll out those three bigs, we're talking about 21 feet of big out there with bounce. And that's a tough defense to get past. And it just looks like Oklahoma City, they're just not athletic enough to get through those guys that can commit to doubles and then stepping back out and getting their guy again. It's just the quickness and size is just wearing OKC down.
And if you remember yesterday, I said, I think that role players play better at home. And I said it'll either be Joe or Dort or Giddey. One of those guys is going to have a night. And none of them really did. And Isaiah Joe and Lou Dort certainly tried. Both took 8 threes, both made 2 of them. So just inefficiency.
Well, somebody tell Dort to stop running through picks.
Yeah.
My God, he picked up 4 fouls on things that anybody else would just go over the top, man. I don't know what he is. It feels like it's an attempt to wear down the high picker. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know, but the role player stepped up for Dallas. Yeah. Jones, Lively, both had great games, and it's like if you're getting great from your role players on the road, you're probably going to win the series. And I know I say it with like sadness in my voice because I think I was ready to see this Thunder team take the next step, but I don't think they're ready. All right, when we come back, we know the Cleveland Cavaliers weren't ready. Boston Celtics take care of business. We'll talk about that game on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
This summer, click into cordless power with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Tackle more than half an acre of grass with the convenience and gas-like power of the Ryobi 40-volt battery-powered mower. And keep your flower beds fresh with the 40-volt cordless string trimmer. Then clear debris with the 40-volt jet fan leaf blower. Click into Memorial Day savings happening now at your cordless power source, the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-885-9797. That's 800-885-9797.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Some people just know the more you protect, the more you save with Allstate, because they know insurance math. Like if you protect your home and auto, Allstate can save you up to 25%. So it's like losing money if you don't bundle. Save more when you protect more. Bundle home and auto with Allstate today.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You can host the best backyard barbecue. You find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman, Rob Thompson, getting you through your morning here. Talking some sports match games, and boy, I think we're almost done with these freaking late night games. I'm readjusting to Central Time, and I'll say, man, the West Coast has it right when it comes to these late games. Like the late games start at 7. That's the way it ought to be.
Now, it's an adjustment for the 10 a.m. Sunday morning kickoff. That's an adjustment. Weird. But I don't mind it. But, your first trip to Vegas, when you really don't take that into account, and you've spent Saturday night, I'll never forget 35 years ago, my first weekend in Vegas, and sleeping through the first round of games because I didn't think that it's noon.
If you're there to party, you're probably going to sleep you're going to sleep through the games. But if you're like a normal person who lives there, chances are good you're not going to wake up after 10 anyway. And now, like, if you wake up at 10 here, you've got to figure out, well, okay, what do I do for the next 2 hours? Do I want to watch the crappy pregame show or whatever? No, you don't. You just want to watch football.
It gives you a little time to start the smoker, though.
Yeah,
there is a little benefit for a later time.
That's true. But yeah, I'm worn out watching these games. The early game yesterday, I don't know what to make of the Boston Celtics. I got to tell you, maybe they're playing with their food. is what they're doing. But the idea that they were in a fight last night kind of worries me, because that was the corpse of the Cleveland Cavaliers. That wasn't the Cavs. That was their dead body rolling out to play the Celtics. And you had to put Jason Tatum out there for 43 minutes. That can't be good. I know they're the only series that's done, so in a way that's good, but it just feels like every game was pulling teeth when it didn't need to be. The fact that they had to play a fifth game felt unnecessary. Like, if the Celtics are what we thought they were, they shouldn't be in these kind of games.
And I felt like the fourth quarter was practice. It felt to me like Missoula was using the fourth quarter to kind of sharpen some edges. It was a very strange. It was a 15-point win, but they were never worried. There was never a doubt about this game.
I agree, but as I thought they were just going to come out and stomp them. I bet the Celtics in the first half. I mean, this was a 6-point game at halftime.
But if you were a Celtic fan or non-Cleveland fan, were you ever sweaty? I wasn't. I never felt like there was a chance. And yeah, it was 6 points, but it was kind of a couple of weird plays to close the fourth out. A couple of inopportune shots by some dudes that were getting some minutes. Derek White still hasn't really found his depth. He's got the yips a little bit. So I think they were using the time to work it out. I love the analogy. They do play with their food. They really do. And that's what's going to nag at you, not only for the Celtics, but for Jason Tatum until they actually do it. Dude, you're going to have to bring it every time, not just when you have to.
They only played 8 guys last night in a 15-point win.
Yeah, I felt like it was that fourth quarter felt like run it again.
Like they were like the coach was pissed off.
I felt like run it again, man. Do that again. You're going to have to fix it.
I think the first 3 quarters were frustrating enough for him that he was like, oh, we got to be better than this. And the truth is, I don't know that they do have to be better than this to win the East. Like, I think they're either going to run into a bloodied and battered Knicks team or a Pacers team that they're just going to be better than. But do you trust the Celtics against anyone out of the West? Like, is there a team out of the West that you go, Celtics are going to run over that team? Like, I don't know that I feel one. I don't think the Celtics aren't going to run over a team that's at full strength.
But when they are at full strength and playing at their best, they're the best team in the league.
That's tough. I mean, they've had the best record all season, but I've also kind of credited that to they're the only team in the East that's worth a damn. So like the West has to, like, we talked earlier about playing the AFC North. Like, you just go through this ringer and it's like, oof, imagine being one of those AFC North teams and having to play them all twice. But with the East, it's like, maybe you had to play the Bucks when Giannis was healthy. That was probably tough. But in the West, it's like the Lakers and the Warriors, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Anthony Davis were all in like play-in games. That's how good the Western Conference is.
It's kind of inverse the way, growing up.
Oh yeah,
in the West, the Lakers or whoever it was in the West would skate through and go to the Bahamas for a week while the East went through the gauntlet.
It's funny what you said growing up. For me, growing up, it was the opposite.
Really,
it was Jordan was going to be there, and who's going to come? Is it going to be the Rockets or the Suns or the Spurs or the Jazz? Who's going to go up and try and test their wares against Michael Jordan? And like it was predetermined.
And in the following years with the Spurs and the Lakers, it was just a matter of get there and watch the East just beat themselves up.
Now it feels like the West is going to battle to go play the Celtics. I just don't know if the Celtics are unbeatable. I really start to question it. All right. Hour number 2 coming up. We're going to talk some Harrison Butker. We're going to talk more schedule. We're going to give away ACL tickets. It's a Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
In lieu of flowers, donate to Dogs That Care.
There's somebody somewhere putting together a website right now. Dog That Cares.
Have you ever escaped the backyard, gone over to the neighbor's place, killed every chicken they had? I have. I'm a dog who cares.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
It's time to treat your home and your feet to new carpet. The Home Depot has an offer for you. For a limited time, you can get 10% off select Home Decorators Collection carpet, and installation by licensed providers is included. Offer valid May 9th through May 26, 2024. Receive 10% off select Home Decorators Collection special order carpet and installation. Installation included with qualifying purchase. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and not moving around.
Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it. That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/good or text GOOD to 511-511. Text GOOD to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Pack the Dome this Sunday as Puro San Antonio football returns to the Alamo Dome. The playoff push is on for the San Antonio Brahmas as they return home Sunday against the Arlington Renegades. Fun for the entire family. Experience the excitement. Buy your tickets now at theufl.com. Come watch Coach Wade Phillips lead the Brahmas against the Arlington Renegades this Sunday afternoon at 3 in the Alamo Dome. Get your tickets now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
To celebrate everyone who's customized and saved hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, we got a savings siren that goes off every time someone saves. There it is. It's a really more savings, which really, okay, a lot of savings. Little annoying now. Will you stop saving for 5 seconds?
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Memorial Day deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, save big on Scott's Naturescapes mulch. Get 5 bags for just $10. And there's more. Get up to 40% off. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. These deals are selling fast, so start shopping now. Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 5/29. Mulch excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase. See Lowe's.com for details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
Nigel, what are you doing with all this stuff in the break room? It looks like a farmer's market in here.
I'm changing my eating habits, embracing good quality nutrition with fresh produce.
Folks, maintaining a healthy AC system is just like maintaining a healthy diet. Let's make sure your system is clean and efficient. Nigel, that's a pretty impressive healthy salad you assembled.
Thanks, Joel. Now step back. The grease is hot.
Grease?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NFL's complete schedule was released last night. Both the Dallas Cowboys and Houston Texans will have 6 primetime games. In the NBA, the Celtics closed out the Cavs 113-98 last night in Game 5 to advance to their 3rd straight Eastern Conference Finals, while the Mavs put the Thunder on the brink of elimination with Game 5 win 104-92. This is Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 2. The Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Doing sportsy stuff. And you can pop that down any moment now, Vic. There we go.
You don't like that music bed?
I mean, it's a little rough.
I mean, it's like you're narrating a football, like a highlight reel.
Yeah, I need it to come down where like my voice is at least as loud as that music would be good. Where I don't have to scream. 94.1.
That's what morning guys do.
I know.
We have to scream.
I gotta get used to being
weird sound effect. Do you have a fart sound?
I gotta get used to being a wacky morning guy. I'll get there. I'm as wacky as they come, Rob, but I'm not there yet. I'll be there. Speaking of wacky, Harrison Butker is. I'll be honest. I think the biggest problem for Harrison Butker is that he plays for the Chiefs. Because
you got bigger problems than that.
Well, let me. For those who don't know, Harrison Butker gave a commencement speech at
Benedictine College, the hotbed of liberal activity. You think there's some protests, some divest from? You think there's any of that going on Benedictine's campus?
I don't know. But
you think we can see their shins? Is like a free dress Friday allow us to see a lady's ankle?
I'm not sure what the rules are there. I'm guessing if they had Harrison Butker do the commencement speech, there's
her
rules.
Elbow.
There's a lot of rules. But Harrison Butker is making waves, and including, I mean, both Rob and my wife have commented on this. Rob's wife commented on it to him. My wife. I'm right now going to bed 2 hours, 3 hours before my wife does because she's on Pacific time. And she sent me a text. I hope you're sleeping, but I forgot to ask if you roasted Butker on the air. WTF was he thinking at a college graduation of all places?
My wife called him Butt Kiss. Who's this Butt Kiss guy?
And here's why I said the Chiefs, it's sort of making it a bigger issue is there's people like my wife who 2 years ago didn't care about football at all, but are now following Chiefs accounts.
Yep.
Because she is interested in the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift drama. And Chuck says, why are people freaking out about what he said? What did he say? And basically he said,
Chuck's not married.
I'll just kind of give the Cliff's Notes version. Because he said, I know a lot of you women in the crowd are excited about your first big job and the promotions that you're going to get. But what you should be excited about and what you're going to be most fulfilled by is being a wife and a mother and taking care of your husband. This is like this is what you've really got to look forward to. Like all those things, making your own money. And I that sounds awesome, but what you're really going to be most happy about in life is taking care of your man, doing the dishes, like rubbing his feet when he gets home from work. Not in those words, but.
Oh, he said embrace your masculinity and fight against the cultural emasculation of men.
Well, that's what he said to the men. That was yes. He's letting you guys know, hey, don't you dare let your woman say, I'm going off to work, honey. You tell her, hey, sit down. I don't want you reading. Like that Harrison Butker seems like the kind of guy who it puts all the books in the house under lock and key when he leaves. It's like, honey, I'm going to work. I've got a road game this week. I don't want you reading, digging through her purse. What's this? That's a library card, honey. No, you're not allowed to have a library card, woman. But a lot of women didn't like what Harrison Butker had to say. He is a get in the kitchen, make me a sandwich kind of guy. And do what your husband asks of you, which there probably are some women that are that's what their goal is.
Whatever floats your boat.
Sure.
I'm not mad at the concept. I'm mad at this cat.
I think there's a lot of women out
that.
there. There's a lot of women out there who grow up thinking, I cannot wait to get married and be a mom. And that's fine. But typically, like the day that they graduate college isn't the day to tell them to give up on your professional lives.
Here's the problem. So he goes and says this. When we've all had a guy that we've been friends with that does the thing that we have to apologize for that we didn't do, but because we know this dude, we're one in the same circle suddenly. So everybody that has ever been in the same locker room with Harrison Butker, their wives and girlfriends go, is that what goes on inside your locker room? Is that what the way you talk about your wives when you're not around, when we're not around? Are you saying I need to be pregnant? Everybody that's been in the presence of Butker now has to go back to their girlfriend and wife and say, that's him. Have you heard Mahomes? Of all the people in the world, Mahomes shouldn't have to say squat, and even he is catching it from his wife.
Yeah, babe, I don't even know that guy. He just kicks the ball. We're never on the field at the same time, so
Travis has already talked to Swifty. Baby, I didn't know him.
I don't know what
he's
talking about, honey. I don't know.
Write a bad song about him. Write a song about Harrison and his meanness to women. You get him.
Why you got to be so mean?
Why you got to be so mean?
One day I'll be out there. One day I'll be living in a big old city, and all you're ever going to be is mean Harrison Butker.
The butt car reaction. It's going to be a late night Spotify relax in 3 weeks. It's coming, man. It's going to be a song.
It's going to be like Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
There's going to have like a We Are the World thing. We're gathering all the Swiftettes, and we're going to release a record condemning
it's going to be
Butker and the Benedictines.
Taylor is going to release a diss track. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna like Kim Kardashian, you ain't safe. Harrison Butker, you ain't safe. Tried to tell y'all, stay out of my business. Y'all didn't know how to act. So now I got to bring it to you, T Swift style.
Can you imagine having 3 million 12-year-olds mad at you?
I mean, it sounds
she's going to unleash them.
It does sound terrible. I'll admit that, but.
Never knew him. Sorry, baby. Never Butker. But who? But what? No, never knew him. We don't talk about that.
There is there's a petition on change.org calling for the Chiefs to release Harrison Butker.
What do you think? Is it possible? I think it's possible, brother. I think the NFL, when the NFL, the do not tarnish the shield NFL, within 12 hours of his commencement speech is forced to call a presser in reaction, dude.
If the Chiefs released Harrison Butker over this, people would lose their minds. Here's why. The Chiefs have a wide receiver who's been arrested twice this offseason. And they're going to say, you're going to release Harrison Butker because
he is married to or dates a strong woman.
I don't know. There have been over 30,000 signatures on the petition to dismiss Harrison Butker for discriminatory remarks. Wow.
Somebody needed to say, you need to offer your speech to someone outside your household before you head out and offer your wisdom. My daddy raised me saying, son, and you've chosen an unopportune profession, but I was raised to be thought a fool and not speak to prove it.
Listen,
dude, you opened your mouth, and now what's that whole thing? A CLM, a career limiting move.
Listen, I get it. He's given a commencement speech at a private Catholic college. This is these people got a church-centered education.
Preaching to the choir. I get who he's talking to.
You are not talking to you're not talking to a bunch of progressives. You're not talking to what the kids now would call woke. You're not talking to radical leftists. He's talking to the right crowd.
I get the audience, but
you got to remember there's a whole world out there outside of Benedictine College where it's gonna be heard, and not everybody thinks that way. And again, I'm a big believer in this. In my philosophy on life is, you do what's good for you and your family. Don't tell me what's good for me and my family. I can figure that out. You do your thing, and if you don't bother me, more power to you.
Stops at the end of your fingertip.
Yeah.
Once you're past that, but inside,
Like
what you need,
you're one of these dudes who likes to. You want to dress up like a lady in your living room. That's none of my business. I'm not in your living room. It's not my problem. You want to do that. You want to cut your parts off, and that's on you, Bubba.
Stand and put on your holy sacramental sex garbs and listen to your man. Have it. Have at it.
You want to
tell me.
You want to have your wife churning butter barefoot in the kitchen, and
well, there's something to that.
That's
we
more
all
power
have our
to you.
kink.
But there's a lot of people out there. Most people don't think that way. Most people think there's my way, and then there's the radical way, the other way, and that goes for both sides. Obviously, like if you're a leftist, most people think that everybody on the right is radical, and vice versa. When you give a speech like this at a conservative college, there's going to be half the people in this country who are losing their mind about it.
So you're Andy Reid. What do you do? Do you not say anything? You just say, well, let this play out. Let's treat this like Animal Farm. I mean, eventually they'll take care of Piggy. I mean, eventually it'll happen. Do I let it handle? Do I let the inmates handle the justice, or do I do something?
Listen, Andy Reid's son.
I know. It's a very interesting situation he finds himself in.
Tyreek Hill beat his kid.
Absolutely.
Or beat his wife. Maybe both. I don't remember anymore. Tyreek Hill beat people that he wasn't supposed to beat. Was it wife and kid? I don't know.
Think it was.
Rashee Rice got
really.
arrested twice in a month. I don't think Andy Reid can do anything here. I know, like the new culture is like, you can't say things like that.
This is bigger than that, though.
I don't think it is.
Oh, it is.
I know
AJ, don't delude yourself into thinking it's not. It is.
I know to Twitter it is. I hate cancel culture. I hate it. And
the NFL, they had to go get the commissioner out of bed. They had to go pull him off the golf course and say, wait till you hear what your Super Bowl champion kicker just said.
And I'm not saying he's right. I don't agree with what he's saying. But if that's how things work in the Butker household, more power to you, man.
That's right. You can pronounce that and live that life in the UFL, in the UFL. You can go kick for Shreveport if you want to be that.
The problem is he's probably like a top 5 kicker in the league.
There is that.
If this were one of the guys on the never-ending cycle, like if his last name was Feely or something like that, and it's like, well, we can always fire our kicker and hire Jay Feely. Like, if he was one of those types, he'd probably be gone because you'd have, okay, well, now you gave me an excuse to do it.
I don't know what the odds are. I'm sure we can find a book out of Macau, but Butker on the opening day roster, I put it at 20% max.
I would bet he's there. I'd bet he's there. So
it's about to rain hellfire upon the Butker household.
If you're giving me 5-1, I will take it. But I mean, this is, at the end of the day, it's free speech. And it's
speech is free.
But you got to remember there are consequences, and I think today is the day that the consequences are Twitter's going to drag you. I don't think it goes beyond that, though.
Okay, Pat Mahomes has already come out and said, "Man, I don't even know this cat."
No, I played that earlier. That was from months ago. Patrick Mahomes,
he knew it was coming.
Like Patrick knew what. He knew what Butker was. Yeah, I played some audio before the show.
I thought this was yesterday.
No, that was McAfee. McAfee show. Mahomes was on there, and McAfee was asking about the kicker, and he's like, "I don't even talk to that guy, man. Like, I stay away from him. I don't talk to him in the locker room. He ain't what I mean."
Baby, don't know him.
Yeah, I don't even have his phone number, man. Like, I don't talk to that. He's a weird dude. But yeah, I just think he's gonna get drug on the internet. But that's it. I just don't know. I don't know, man. I hate there's going to be people complaining on.
And they're trying to build a new stadium. There's a lot of things in play here.
Yep. So, of course, I mean, they live in a part of the world where, like the people are like, I doubt the Kansas City Chiefs fan base, the non-new Taylor Swift Chiefs fan base, is probably okay with this.
Oh, I guarantee you, Kansas is the buckle in the belt.
Yeah, but now the Chiefs are let's face it, they are a national brand. The Chiefs are now they're probably not Cowboys Steelers level. I think of
Mahomes.
To me, it's like
man.
Cowboys, Steelers, Packers are the three that
they're the blue bloods. Yeah, they're the old guard.
I think like the way the Patriots became sort of a national brand, I think the Chiefs have become that now.
Well, I think Mahomes has and brought the Chiefs with him.
Well, and Taylor Swift brought
there we go. And there is the problem that the ownership and Reed and all this are facing with guy that's just a kicker.
All right. And usually you don't want to deal with hassle from your kicker. If Travis Kelce said this, you'd go, well, that sucks, but we got to think about how many dumb things Gronk said. And it's like, yeah, but
he's Gronk.
What are we going to do? Usually a kicker or punter says something dumb. It's like, beat it. I just don't know the Chiefs are going to do that here. All right. When we get to the other side, I want to talk about the Christmas games and them being on Netflix. There are 2 games, NFL games on Christmas Day, and we'll talk about why that's unique. And I want to get your thoughts on what kind of advantage or disadvantage it is, Rob. I want to see if the Cowboys eventually play, because the Texans are on the list. Texans are playing a Christmas Day game. I want you to tell me what kind of benefit or detriment there is with this on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Fabric
Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
It's time to treat your home and your feet to new carpet. The Home Depot has an offer for you. For a limited time, you can get 10% off select Home Decorators Collection carpet, and installation by licensed providers is included. Offer valid May 9th through May 26, 2024. Receive 10% off select Home Decorators Collection special order carpet and installation. Installation included with qualifying purchase. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
Texas weather this time of year means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you were hit with the recent storms and you think you have roof damage, don't make the situation worse by putting your faith in one of those out-of-town storm chasers. Work with a local roofing company with years of experience. Work with a company whose people live in our area and deal with the same weather we do. That's Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net. Buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing.
Hi, everybody. Scott Innes here. For 25 years, I've been voicing lovable cartoon dogs like Scooby-Doo, Astro. Hey, I love puppies and dogs. And now I get to help pets that need a voice to save their lives. That's where the Puppy Food Bank comes in. The Puppy Food Bank helps pet rescue organizations so they can feed puppies. For just $11 a month, you can save a pet's life. Go to puppyfoodbank.org now and donate, and they'll send you a nice gift. Puppy Food Bank is proudly supported by Thomas J. Henry.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This summer, click into cordless power with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Tackle more than half an acre of grass with the convenience and gas-like power of the Ryobi 40-volt battery-powered mower. And keep your flower beds fresh with a 40-volt cordless string trimmer. Then clear debris with the 40-volt jet fan leaf blower. Click into Memorial Day savings happening now at your cordless power source, the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks fantasy. You're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. A lot of people in the chat think that he's right. And you're perfectly within your rights to think that. I think maybe the way he said it, though, like saying, women, you've been told a diabolical lie. It sounds like something from SpongeBob. Like, the Krabby Patty recipe. That's not the Krabby Patty recipe. I've been told a diabolical lie.
That could be applied to most of our lives.
Yeah, of course. Everybody's lied to. Rob lied to me this morning. I don't know what about.
I don't know.
I don't remember,
was.
but I'm just guessing somewhere along the way.
I was being kind.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
He
tell
said,
you the
man,
truth.
I'm having a great time doing the show with you.
Barely adequate psycho defenses couldn't handle the truth.
Rob said, I've had a great time doing the show with you. And then he turned around and had to spit out the sandwich he was eating. I noticed you did eat a sandwich today, nothing on a stick.
I didn't. I branched out and I inhaled that thing too. I was hungry. I just had a breakfast biscuit. I'm a fan of all things Jimmy Dean.
Good old James Dean.
No, not that James Dean.
Uh-oh.
The meat purveyor.
I thought it was the same guy.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I have no proof to the
I just thought he was multi-talented.
I just thought he started a sausage thing before he wrecked his Porsche.
That's what I assumed the same. But
Paris, Texas, baby.
What do I know? What do I know? All right. What I do know is there's 2 games on Christmas Day. And does it feel like a competitive disadvantage? Normally, most years playing a game on Christmas Day, like it probably sucks not having Christmas with your family, particularly if you're the road team, it's not fun. But it doesn't feel like there's a real competitive disadvantage this year because Christmas Day is on a Wednesday.
That's what I was checking. It's a Wednesday now.
It
All right.
feels like, man, that's tough. And I don't know. I've got to look at the rest of the schedules for these teams. But so for the Houston Texans who do play on Christmas Day, they are they're at home, fortunately for them. And then that's on 12/28 or 12/25. And then it says week 18. It doesn't say the date yet for the Texans at the Titans. What's the date? Can you see that? The Texans-Titans game in week 18. Can you see the day of the week that it falls on? But they've got them playing on 12/15 against the Dolphins. Then 12/21, which is a Saturday, they're at the Chiefs. So they're trying to at least give them an extra, but again, now they're getting shorted a day the week before. So they're playing the Chiefs on 6 days rest. And then they're playing they're playing the Ravens on 4 days rest. So in 10 days, they're playing 3 football games.
It is as we talk about Christmas Day, my first question is, in your mind, is Christmas Day an NFL day?
I think yes.
Is it? I mean, it hasn't been.
No, but it should be.
Okay, because you're taking the NFL's idea that we need to be everywhere all the time at the risk of the very product that we're trying to keep on the field. We need to take Christmas Day, even though we have gotten to the size we have, while allowing the NBA to own Christmas Day. We've allowed that to happen. And
Why?
Well, the thing is, there is the idea of playing Pat Mahomes 3 games in 11 days. I mean, there is the idea of taking my prized 3-year-old colt and running the legs out from underneath them, where they're not available when truly people are tuning in after Christmas Day. I suddenly blow my wheels out. I play a guy over and over and over in the month of December to where he's not available. I mean, there is I get this greed factor. I heard, and I haven't verified, that the Kansas City Chiefs are basically going to play every day of the week this year, but Wednesday. Or Tuesday.
Tuesday is the one they
now
won't play.
That's okay. Now we're getting into the realm of high school and college sports. How big do you need to be, NFL? You don't need to be every day. You don't need to be the NBA. We get that there is a rhythm to the league. We get it. We get it 18 times plus playoffs. We get the rhythm, the build. You don't need to give it to us every day. We do have other things. I just feel like you're trying to do too much, and it's going to hurt your players.
Well, it's certainly, I mean, just looking at the Texans schedule, Dolphins, Chiefs, and Ravens, 3 playoff caliber teams in 10 days. I mean, that's brutal. I mean, you're right. It has historically been a basketball day, but I think the NFL is starting to wonder why.
Well, you knew it was a slippery slope when they said, we might play a game or 2 on Saturday.
Yeah.
We might just slip a game in there on Saturday, just see how it feels. When all they were trying to do is, can we get their attention away from Bo Diddley Tech? And they did. So here's Saturday stayed. Okay, maybe we'll keep it on a Friday night. Maybe, maybe high school football isn't that important. Maybe we should divert their attention to the pros and not where we're actually growing the product.
But I mean, dude, you got to think about what's Roger Goodell's priority.
To feed
It's
the
not high
shareholders.
school
I get.
football.
Well,
Like-
he should. I mean, you do need to plant the seeds. I mean, you do need to kind of grow your product. And if you don't have foresight and pipeline development, that's any business 201 class.
Listen, them playing an NFL game on a Friday night, the high school football games will still happen.
Dude, I get what you're saying. I do.
The basketball games will still happen.
Welcome to the party. Should as basketball player would say. But there is a fundamental system in place that has been quite effective in your growth. And I get getting bigger and doing all this stuff. But once you start stepping it, and you don't need to do what they're doing, because if you want to do all that, spread the schedule out longer. But you just brought it up. CJ Stroud and the Texans are going to go through to think what they're putting those guys' body through.
You sound right now the way that people who were against them playing in Europe sounded, saying like, well, you're going to have them doing all this travel. It's not fair. Like it's just going to
we're
wear
not
them.
compacting games. They're still playing every 7 days. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the rhythm of the game. Our bodies are, you play this game for a long time, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, and your bodies are accustomed to this amount of recovery. And once you start altering that, once you start getting weird with it, then all kinds of things get strange. And this is what they're messing with.
You want to know who I blame for this? The NBA.
There might be, because they're getting too uppity, too big.
I think like the truth is the NBA is very interesting come playoff time. The NBA regular season is too long, much like the Major League Baseball regular season is too long. And there's like the ratings have gone down on Christmas Day games. It's like
there's something to it. I agree.
There's interest is waning in regular season NBA, and the NFL's looking at that as like, wow, we could come in and scoop up some share here. Like, what? Why shouldn't we? But if the NBA was still dominating on Christmas Day the way they used to,
well, who's to say that they won't? I mean, there are new faces, and ratings can be down for a variety of reasons. And some of it's day of the week, some of it's COVID related. We can talk about a lot of things, but you are doing it at the detriment of the very product that keeps you where you are. Because as much as we want to watch NFL all the time, if it's a Texans game on Friday and CJ ain't there, I ain't watching. It's one of those things that, Texan fan might be watching, but if it's that game and no stars, dude, I got other stuff to do. It's Christmas Day.
All right, we got plenty more to talk about on the schedule. I think we can continue this conversation because I would argue that, like you mentioned, there's new faces. I want to know if you think any of those faces are going to rival the face of Patrick Mahomes, because that's the real question. Is it Anthony Edwards is a star, but is he that kind of a star? And we'll play some of Marcus Spears sound. He had some stuff to say about the Cowboys that I want to get into as well. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Thursday on The Blitz, all the NBA playoff reaction, but the big news of the day is the NFL schedule release. We'll talk about it with Sean Merriman as he joined us at 2:35. We'll take a look at all the Cowboy primetime matchups and the Houston Texans big games as John McClain from HoustonTexans.com joins us at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Kathy, what is the name of the couple?
It was Mark and Sheila.
Speech impediment Terrence. Please put together a quick marriage announcement for Mark and Sheila.
Oh my gosh.
Mark and Sheila. Don't be getting married.
Terrence, calm down.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Pack the Dome this Sunday as Puro San Antonio football returns to the Alamo Dome. The playoff pushes on for the San Antonio Brahmas as they return home Sunday against the Arlington Renegades. Fun for the entire family. Experience the excitement. Buy your tickets now at theufl.com. Come watch Coach Wade Phillips lead the Brahmas against the Arlington Renegades this Sunday afternoon at 3 in the Alamo Dome. Get your tickets now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and not moving around. Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it.
That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/good or text GOOD to 511-511. Text GOOD to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Okay, it's here. Everyone stay calm. It's Kohl's lowest prices of the season. And when I say low, I mean low. I got my kids jumping bean tees for $3.99. Treated myself to some cute tees and tank tops under $5. And got great finds for our patio, 50% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash on all of it. Sounds too good to be true? Well, I guess you'll have to go to Kohl's and find out for yourself. Select styles. Offers end May 15th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman. He's Rob Thompson.
Howdy.
Howdy, friend. We are giving away an opportunity to win.
And we're running out of opportunities.
Oh, yes.
You gotta play to win.
Oh, yes. We are giving you an opportunity to go to ACL. And San Antonio Sports Star has 3-day wristbands to ACL Music Festival Week 2. It's October 11th through the 13th. Just listen to the Morning Huddle, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. The Blitz, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, and 5:30. And you'll get qualified to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Week 2. We're going to choose a winner at random for each show at the end of the week. We'll do the same thing next week. And if you call in and you're the first person to answer my trivia question, you will be registered to win. Travis Barker is the drummer for Blink 182. Travis Landon Barker.
Did you know that off the top of your head, or are you reading something?
I knew that off the top of my head. I've heard that before. He is married to a famous lady, and I want to know who that famous lady is.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me. Now somebody's going to call in quick. I want to know. I don't know.
Call in. Tell me his current wife. He's on his third wife, but I want to know who his current wife is, and you'll be registered. First person to call in at 656-3776. You, friend, are registered to go to ACL. Just
yeah. Thank you, Chuck. Yeah, I knew this.
Except it's with a K.
Oh, close enough.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Of course. Yeah. They're all Ks.
It's all Ks now, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Let's see. We were the Spurs schedule, not the Spurs schedule, the Cowboys schedule. That's where I said I was going to go. That's where I wanted to go. And Rob's, I think his fears have been
they've been calmed in that, if I'm going to have to fight a war, I might as well fight in a place that I'm familiar.
Yeah. What's your expectations? Like, do you think the Cowboys win the division this year?
No. And, the history tells us it doesn't matter what you think. You just don't get to repeat in the NFC East. You just don't get to, for whatever reason, the football gods will not allow it. And so that tells me they won't. And then they're just AJ, they're just thinner. They're not less talented. They still have the talent, but the puddle's shallow. There's just not a lot of there. And one fallen domino, one injury, this is the kind of team that'll just ripple through. And when I look at the October run, home or away, I mean, these are physical football teams that even if you beat them, the next week you still remember the beating that you took in the win. This is going to be a rough one. It's the worst schedule for this team. Physical football teams.
The Cowboys and the Eagles both have their win total set at 10.5. So it's kind of a coin flip on who Vegas thinks is going to win the division. I guess if you're looking for the silver lining, the other two teams in this division are expected to finish well below 500.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I don't think the Giants or the Commanders are a 9-win team.
You know, the Commanders could jump up and get somebody. They feel very much like the Texans. Not only because of the way they drafted, but they got a new coach with you can say what you will about previous Cowboy fandom and coaching, but there's an excitement level there. They got a young quarterback. They had a little bit of talent in the bank already. And it's one of those sleeping giant franchises. I expect Washington's going to jump up and get some people this year.
I think they'll get some people. I think might be about 7 of them.
Well, and I have a fear one of them is going to be Cowboys.
Because the issue, I mean, listen, the Cowboys, you can't be losing to rookie quarterbacks. You can't.
Well, talked to everybody who played CJ last year.
Yeah. I mean, and if he's that, then,
Burrow took a Super Bowl run. I mean, it happens.
But it's very rare for a rookie quarterback to come in and do what CJ did, and almost unheard of. Especially with a team that bad, and to turn them around.
Well, if you look at it, what do you need to have, though? You need to have a last place schedule. You need to be in a pretty soft conference.
Yeah.
And then you have to be in a pretty soft division.
But remember what they did last year at the end of the year. They sold off all their defense. And boy, did they! I mean, they were a mess on that side of the ball.
I'm not saying success is imminent, but there is a definite altitude adjustment there. The old guard is gone, and you get the sense that there's a freedom to go make a mistake or two, kind of like the way the Texans were allowed to go a little freewheeling and win games, quite frankly, by the seat of their pants by one crazy play. It could happen.
Often, I try to simplify things and say, if you think a game might be a coin flip, or if you're trying to figure out, if you're one of the guys who goes win, loss, win,
right?
One of the things that an exercise that I always try to go through is, do you have an edge at QB? And with Dak, that question is even more fascinating when you talk about Dak, because there's so many differing opinions on where Dak is. So I kind of want to run through. And I'm going to say the team, you tell me if the Cowboys are going to have the better or the second best quarterback in this game. Are the Cowboys have an edge against the Cleveland Browns at quarterback?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, based on what we've seen of Deshaun in Cleveland,
right.
I think they have to.
They do. I'm going to be the devil's advocate on this Dak thing, but I even have to admit they do against Cleveland.
Okay. Saints.
Even. It is the same dude on both sides of the line.
Really?
Same dude.
Wow. I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Derek Carr is Dak Prescott. They're the same guy.
Except Derek Carr had a terrible season last year. And Dak had a fantastic one.
I agree. But apples to apples, arm to arm, output to output, they're the same cat.
Okay.
They are a chicken breast. They're going to taste like what you cook it with.
The Ravens.
No.
The Giants.
Yes, they do.
The Steelers.
And yeah. Well, we'll see.
I mean, come on.
I think it's possible. I'm feeling might be something there. I'm just saying.
Detroit?
No, they don't.
Okay. Is it? I mean, you think it's a big gap, or do you think it's to me, Dak and Jared Goff feel like the same thing?
They are, but
which is a level ahead of Derek Carr.
But Jared has tailwinds, baby. He's got a lot of stuff going in his favor. He's got a coach that loves him. He just got paid. They just paid a wide receiver that loves him. They got a defense that's going to protect him. They got an off. I mean, he's just in a better position than Dak is. I just think he's maybe not physically skilled, much better, but everything it's a better quarterback.
San Francisco.
I got to go with Purdy because of the output.
Okay. Atlanta.
Did I say the same guy?
Same guy coming off an Achilles surgery, though.
I mean, that's the difference. But I'll tell you this: Cousins has a lot more to work with than Dak does. There's a lot of weapons over there.
But simplify it down to quarterback.
Okay,
I think it's Dak too. Philadelphia.
There it goes. Which Jalen are we talking about?
I mean, that's kind of the question. Like if last year, you certainly felt like Dallas had the better quarterback. The year before, you certainly didn't. So what's your thought? If I said gun to your head, who's got the better quarterback?
I like Dak as a more complete quarterback.
Okay. Houston.
No, it's CJ.
Okay.
Away.
Washington.
We don't know, but I assume no.
We've said Giants already. Bengals, no. And that's assuming, of course, that Joe Burrow's still around.
And now here is the $1 million comparison. Dak or Baker?
Oh, I thought you.
I thought we were getting.
We're at Bryce Young next.
Oh, Bryce. It's Dak. It's Dak. I thought we were going to pass. Bryce,
I was like,
maybe
oh boy,
in a couple years, maybe, but not. No, it's Dak.
Man, if Dak and Baker is really, like, in your mind, a real comparison,
it is.
We've got to get away from paying Dak crazy money.
I agree, and I think Jerry feels the same way. I think if Jerry could trade Dak for Baker and that contract tomorrow, he would.
Wow,
33. I saw something sitting in front of me that the appropriate pay for Dak Prescott, given the modern salary cap structure, is exactly what he's getting.
That is, I think that is probably fair, but I saw that, and it also said C.J. Stroud's worth $50 million.
Well,
C.J. Stroud's played 1 year. Find me the quarterback that had a year like C.J. Stroud had in year 1 and didn't regress in year 2.
I will agree when
like
you look
RG3
at
looked like that.
I agree, and injuries played a huge role in that. But I will say that his value to the team itself, but for the game of football into the NFL, is about $50 million. He's getting paid appropriate, or will be, or should be.
So I went ahead and put Tampa. I said Dak over.
He is in every category but one better.
And that is?
But Baker will go win a football game, and Dak can't.
Okay. So if we say, based on just quarterbacks, Cowboys are apparently 11-5-1 on the season.
See, that's welcome to being a Cowboy fan.
Man, the question of what Dak is so fascinating to me.
AJ, as we went there, I was sure you were going to say, there we go, 9-8. Like I would have, by just the way I reacted, and I came back 11-5.
Yeah, and you said Lamar's better, Goff's better, Purdy's better, Stroud's better, Burrow's better. I don't think any of those are outrageous. No. I might even disagree with you on Jared Goff. I do disagree with you on Derek Carr. Like they might. I might have. If you'd done that exercise with me, I might have said 13-4.
Wow.
Although I can also see the argument. Like if I was going to say there's an even one, to me, I think Jalen Hurts. So if you split the Jalen Hurts ones.
As you've come back to the motherland, do you strike that there's a term for Aggies? We call it battered Aggie syndrome, BAS. Do you get a sense of battered Cowboy syndrome where it's not as bad as Cowboy fans sees it, or is it, or are they as deluded?
No, I think that every Cowboy fan thinks that it's like, but they also think next year it won't be. But the fact is, like, the Cowboys were pretty good last year. Yeah. It's just the bar has been set, and most Cowboys fans who are over the age of 40 certainly have been spoiled to an extent that now it's, if you don't win a Super Bowl, it's a failure. And the truth is, there's only 32 teams. You're only supposed to win a Super Bowl every 32 years by the law of averages. And the Cowboys have gone past that, but they had a good stretch where they got way more than they were supposed to get. And now Cowboy fans they don't understand how it's taking so long, but the law of averages says that this is what it goes like. You go through these ebbs and flows.
30 years, bro, and we still believe the Super Bowl is imminent. And so
I don't believe it's imminent.
No.
And so I'm in a weird spot that I don't think what the Cowboys have had the last few years is as bad as Cowboys fans seems to think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't think the ceiling is as high as what Cowboy fan thinks it is either. So I'm just kind of coasting in the middle.
The bipolar Cowboy fan.
Yeah, it's like, man, this is the worst. It's dreadful. And then it's like, well, what's going to happen this year? 13-4, probably win the Super Bowl. Maybe we'll see what happens with the Chiefs. But NFC for sure. Like, I just don't see the Cowboys like that, but I also don't see them as like this, oh, it's a disaster, that this roster's garbage. How are we ever going to win any games? I think there's a middle, and it's a boring middle, and Cowboys fans, they don't want to be average. Like that. I say this all the time as a sports radio guy. I want the team I'm covering to either be really awesome or really terrible. Like, I want you to be competing for the Super Bowl or be an absolute disaster, because that gives me content. If you're 8-9, 9-8,
I would like to invite you to the middle of the road.
You're boring the hell out of me.
I want you to come on in and enjoy yourselves a fun November. You're going to have a good time in November. You're going to enjoy December. January, not so much.
Yeah.
You're not going to like January around here, but November and December, fun time.
But you know what? Selfishly, listen, when you've got a great team who melts down in the playoffs, that's more great content. Like,
truth.
So you don't run out of it with these Cowboys. I can tell you that. Marcus Spears was talking Cowboys, and he's talking about what you were talking about, how the roster's not the same. And he made a point that I think is kind of valid. Here's what Marcus Spears had to say on ESPN.
When you think about Dallas, let's focus on not making moves. That's fine. I focus on teams that make moves. And the teams that made moves over the last 3 to 4 years in this league, it's proved to pay heavy dividends for them and having success. So I haven't seen a formula yet where you can let talent exit, get none, and expect to have success. No team has done it that we've watched play in the Super Bowl over the last 5 years.
He's kind of right.
Well,
you know what? I'll give you an exception. The Kansas City Chiefs last year. Tyreek Hill leaves. Everybody's like, well, they don't have any receivers. How the hell can they win? They find a way.
Well, you have an angel at quarterback.
Yeah, it helps. And then Marcus Spears, this feels like the opposite of what I believe. But you know what? Talking to Jason Minix about Dak's situation and how his contract is such that he's got the Cowboys kind of over a barrel.
Completely over a barrel. I've never seen a quarterback in a better position to go get paid by
Deshaun Watson's the only one.
Well, that was such a, and then think about how that screwed everything up.
Oh, yes. Yeah. But here's what Marcus Spears had to say about Dak coming into the season.
This is the first time where I feel like Dak Prescott back ain't against the wall. He just watched Kirk Cousins get $100 million guaranteed from the Atlanta.
So you're saying I got you. I got you.
The value of him on the free market?
Yeah.
Like let's so, and he's gonna make 50 this year.
55 million.
Like, so let's not kid ourselves into thinking Dak Prescott has some insurmountable amount of pressure. We've seen other quarterbacks get paid off of bad seasons and off injury. He's gonna get paid regardless of if it's Dallas or not.
Paid.
He's kind of right.
Not only is he right, with every passing day, he's going to get paid more.
I mean, you're not wrong, because that's just the way these things work. If you're the next guy, you're getting more and more. I don't know, man. It's such a fascinating, it's a saga. I like to call it, because I'm in the camp that I don't want to pay Dak Prescott, but now I've gotten to the understanding where if Dak Prescott becomes a free agent and is gone at the end of next year, the Cowboys still have dead money against him?
Yes.
I mean, that's who negotiated that contract?
At every opportunity, AJ, at every juncture where the Cowboys could have made a correct financial move and at the same time benefit Dak, they chose poorly. They either chose not to, or they pushed it down the road, or they waited till he had something spectacular to offer, and then they ended up paying through the nose in ways, and they offered him a no. And when they did sign him, Dak had him over a barrel to the extent they signed a no trade, no franchise ticket as well for Dak Prescott. That's where they got, and now we're sitting with this. I want to put you in a situation.
Is this Stephen Jones negotiated this for the Cowboys?
This is all Jerry. This is all Jerry. I want to put you in the situation where the Cowboys are headed. So really, the smart thing would be to sign him to a really short-term extension, pay him through the nose, and get rid of the money as fast as possible. That's a smart thing to do. So you'd expect that would happen between now and training camp.
But Dak would have to agree to that.
Yes, and that maybe you have to you have to at this point godfather him. You got to give him an offer he can't refuse for a couple of years. But here's what's going to happen. Just like these guys were talking about, do not delude yourself into thinking there's people that do not want Dak Prescott, because they do. And if the Cowboys decide, you know what we're going to do? There's this little dead period right at the end of the season, before the end of the season of the year end, that we're going to wait till then. We're going to wait till that last moment to give him an offer, because we're going to let him play this entire season. And what's going to happen is the contract negotiations are going to kick into high gear if they don't sign him this summer about November. This period that we're talking about where they're going in 3 games in 12 days, guess what's going to be going on in the backdrop, especially if they're as successful as you say, as we think they could be. They got 11 wins. They got to deal with Dak. Now we're suddenly talking $70 million a year. Now we're suddenly talking dollars that will handcuff and restrict this franchise for a decade.
This is wild. So when we come back, I want to talk about you. I mean, you said this is all Jerry. It feels like he's got some buyer's remorse, but it feels like he's about to throw bad money after bad money. And we got to talk about that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
There are a lot of benefits and blessings to living a life of gratitude. Our hearts are lightened and not so easily weighed down by the negativity we seem to swim in. We're more optimistic about life, less pessimistic, more enthusiastic, less resentful, more in tune with beauty. And the great thing about gratitude is it's something you can grow in every day. You can start a gratitude journal and write down 5 things you're grateful for each day. You can end each conversation with the words, I appreciate you, or we have so much to be grateful for. These are just a couple of things that you can start immediately, today, right now, to grow in gratitude. One other thing you can do is to take a moment to show gratitude to a person who has blessed your life by saying thank you to them. If you have a mother you're grateful for, when is the last time you told her? Or maybe it's a father, a spouse, or a friend. The thing is, we're finite beings on earth, which means that we have a finite number of days to say to them, thank you. This is Mark Absher with the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices that are local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable, available where fuel additives are sold.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Don't sweat a swing and miss thanks to insurance tokens from BetMGM. Add an MLB wager to your bet slip and activate your bet insurance token. If your bet with the token applied doesn't hit, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets up to a specified maximum amount. That's another chance to step up to the plate and bet on the action out there on the diamond. Go to your BetMGM account today to claim your bet insurance token and get your stake back in bonus bets if your MLB wager using the token doesn't win. Only at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks and official sports betting partner of MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer is not available in D.C., Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, call 1-800-981-0023. For West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
The wait is finally over. Childish Gambino, the New World Tour. With special guest, Willow. September 10th, Moody Center. Childish Gambino. Tickets are on sale Friday, 10 a.m. at thenewworldtour.com. A night unlike any other. Childish Gambino, live.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Center.
The NFL's complete schedule was released last night. Both the Dallas Cowboys and Houston Texans will have 6 primetime games. In the NBA, the Celtics closed out the Cavs 113-98 last night in Game 5 to advance to their 3rd straight Eastern Conference Finals, while the Mavs put the Thunder on the brink of elimination with Game 5 win 104-92. This is Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, hour number 3. Here we go, baby. We're rocking and rolling. We've been talking some Cowboys schedule release. Rob is, I think Rob might be bipolar on the Cowboys right now. I'm not sure where Rob is.
I am with the crowd. We're all bipolar with the Cowboys.
We've been talking about the NBA playoffs that are going on. We'll have more of that stuff in this hour as well. And in hour number 4, I'm going to talk about an 8-foot tall man and Mexican sandwiches.
In the same store?
No, 2 separate stories, man. But I want to get to both of them. But just, let people have something to think about for a little while. You said something to me that is fascinating before we went to break. Because I like just talking about this Dak contract, and it seems like such a disaster right now. Not necessarily because Dak hasn't played well enough on the field to warrant what they paid him. It seems like, I mean, if any, like you mentioned, that article said he's paid about what he's worth.
Now he's about to get a little bump on coming up next year.
A little bump. Okay. The question is, like, if you're saying average annual value, but the fact that Dak has a no trade, no franchise clause, the fact that there's dead money on your cap if Dak walks away in free agency.
2025, there will be a dead money hit of $40.1 million if they don't sign him at the start of free agency.
I just don't understand how. And you said Jerry negotiated that himself. Like, that's all on Jerry.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
That's insane.
Yes. So understand the contract and the money situation has become this lens that we view Dak through. We can't look at Dak for what he is. We have to look at Dak for the way that he's been handled and how he's been paid. And when you do that, you lose all perspective that Dak is a very good NFL quarterback. But when you start looking through the Jerry-colored, rose-colored glasses, or however you want to look at it, this cat is overpaid and under-supported. And has been since he got here.
Yeah. I mean, this is, I don't know. I find it fascinating that Jerry would make this contract that I can't imagine he doesn't feel the same way we feel right now. Like this was a bad mistake.
Well, that's how we got here. I think, remember Office Space when they're like, well, what'd you do? Well, we fixed the glitch. Well, we're not going to say the glitch is the contract just runs out. If I don't do anything, he'll go away. I mean, the contract, it's a huge elephant in the room, but eventually it'll just go away.
But that's how it works with most NFL contracts
Right.
is when the player's a free agent, he goes away and you go on with your day. You're not hamstrung the next year after he's gone too because you didn't choose to keep him.
AJ, let me just take you a little bit deeper into the Cowboy funhouse. We were paying Zeke already. Even before he came back, he's getting 2 checks from us. The one that sent him away, and now he's getting another check to stay. That's the kind of financial world the Cowboys live in.
Oh, man. But now, knowing that he made a mistake with Dak, you think there's a real possibility he just says, well, what's our other choice? I've got to make another big mistake.
He has reached a point where now what is the least worst option? There are no good options. You either jump on the hand grenade or it blows you off your ass. One or the other, but it's going to blow up.
It's almost like you're I'm going to say the audience pretend like for Rob, this is easy. Pretend you're a multimillionaire. Rob he's very successful. He's been doing this for a long time. Rob's in the category, not quite Jerry level, but pretend you're a multimillionaire and you're married and you are in a miserable marriage. And she says, you know what? If you don't upgrade my wedding ring and buy me a new car, I'm going to leave you. Which is, that'd be a terrible thing for any wife to say to her husband. But now,
given the alternative, you're like, well,
yeah, the alternative is she leaves you and she takes half your stuff anyway, and which is probably worth more than the car and the ring. But now you're happy. Where do you how do you walk that fence? How do you say this is where I want to be? Because it feels like you can make a good argument for both sides here. Like for Jerry to just say, you know what, I'm gonna eat it.
Yes.
And 2025 will suck. But you know what? We'll have a fresh start in 2026.
New coach, his coach is on the expiring contract too. We'll just start new. But
I can get remarried and start over and be happy.
But you'll be standing in rubble. I mean, you are letting the house burn down around you as you renew. It is a forest fire.
Well, you know what? We won't use names, but before the show, we were talking about a buddy of yours who was married to a hot chick, and she left him
out of nowhere.
And on that day, he probably felt like this is the worst day of my life,
and we all believed it was.
But then a couple years later, what'd you say? He married some
a publishing magnate's daughter, and the rest is history.
And now he's living comfortably,
very well.
And I'm sure that time of pain was rough. And he thought, man, I'm never going to get over this because she took everything.
Damn near killed it.
But then when you come out of the other side, you can actually find joy. Sometimes it's worth that short-term pain. The problem is Jerry doesn't want to accept short-term pain. Like he doesn't want to tank. Cowboys fans don't want to tank. But sometimes a full-blown hit reset is the best thing you can do.
Here's the problem that we give Jerry credit for being the businessman that built the Cowboys into the most valuable franchise on the planet. Most sports guys,
are they still that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're
over like soccer teams.
Oh, they've expanded their league over the soccer teams over the last year. But most owners, their team is a really expensive boat. It's a boat. I have fun on the weekends, but it's just a boat. I make money like blank. I got Home Depot. I got shovels to sell.
Yeah.
And, all the Panthers owner who is I think
hedge fund manager.
David Tepper. I got money to play with. Their teams are their boat. They can mess with it, but Jerry's world is the Cowboys. Now he's got some gas money, the North Texas, but really that's his thing. So he can't treat it like a boat. Tanking. Now, boat, I can go, you know what? I can miss a couple of weekends and not get on my boat because I got to go refurbish it. You don't get to. This is my business. I don't refurbish my business.
You dry dock it.
Yeah,
but when you dry dock it, you lose money for a little while.
Jerry can't do that. This is not my boat. This is my business.
But if your boat is a shrimp boat and it's got leaks in it, you've got to dry dock it because you've got to fix it.
But
if it's
you
not
can't
fixed,
rip the Band-Aid off. No money in, no money out, baby. I got to change the motor while I'm fishing. I got to change the tire in the race without pulling over. I can't stop this thing. This is my business. It is not my boat.
I don't know. I mean, this is I just can't get with that mindset. I get that it's his business. I just can't imagine that you can look at this and go, you know what, where we're going is it's what's working.
30 years of this, AJ. 30 years.
Yeah. I like it just seems foolish. Like I would rather take 2 years, eat bleep for 2 years, and it sucks. And everybody's like, well, Jerry's old. You know what? Every billionaire's old. Like unless you're Elon Musk, you're old. You're an old billionaire. So we'll get over it. And if you know what, if he dies, he dies. But I'd rather die taking a swing if I'm Jerry than die watching the same. It's like Groundhog Day, the Cowboys. It's like, the exact same things every single year. And you wonder why it's not changing.
It's a good party. I mean, the plates are spinning. We're having a good time and we're making money. But if you want a championship, you're looking at the wrong place.
And that's the thing. Like I get these conflicting stories of Jerry where it's like, he's 80 years old. He doesn't think he has time for a rebuild. Yet on the other note, I hear he's got to make sure that he's maximizing whatever money he can make any given day. Like he's holding out on contracts because the money's earning for him.
Don't let a billionaire act like or pretend to you that he thinks he's going to die soon. A billionaire think he's going to live forever.
I mean, yeah. They tend to live longer than us.
Given modern medical science, he can buy another decade or two.
So, I don't know. This is it's a fascinating saga, like I said, and I don't know when the end comes. I see why you guys talk about it so much. Like, as someone who's kind of, and even when I was in Houston, I prided myself on being able to talk all 32 teams, at least at a slightly better than surface level.
Yeah.
And to get into the Masters program on the Cowboys, I think is going to be fascinating for me because it's different than any other organization. I mean,
when you look at the owners that are like Jerry and Mark Davis, that is their sole income. You tend to skew your decision making and look crazy when you have to continue making money to support the thing that makes you money.
Right.
You can't make the boat decision. You can't just go, you know what, let's throw a new coat of paint on it because hell, we're going to have a good weekend. But because you don't really, it's a secondary thing. They treat it different.
Well, I think Jerry he's got real problems with his boat that you can't fix at sea. And it needs to go into the port, get taken care of, and come out the other side, or just buy a new boat. Like let it be an insurance loss. You know what? Let it sink to the bottom and then go, damn.
Call Johnny Bag of Donuts and let a fire happen. Some things happen there.
I loved that boat.
You never know.
This brand new shiny one just doesn't have the same, history to it. Who cares?
Hit a rock and it's at the bottom. I don't know.
All right. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, I want to talk about, speaking of rebuilds, are the Cleveland Cavs about to hit reset on their franchise? And is there a way that could benefit the San Antonio Spurs? We'll talk about that on the other side. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Thursday on The Blitz, all the NBA playoff reaction, but the big news of the day is the NFL schedule release. We'll talk about it with Sean Merriman as he joined us at 2:35. We'll take a look at all the Cowboy primetime matchups and the Houston Texans big games as John McClain from HoustonTexans.com joins us at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
It's time to treat your home and your feet to new carpet. The Home Depot has an offer for you. For a limited time, you can get 10% off select Home Decorators Collection carpet, and installation by licensed providers is included. Offer valid May 9th through May 26, 2024. Receive 10% off select Home Decorators Collection special order carpet and installation. Installation included with qualifying purchase. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
One out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. Call 800-979-1771. That's 800-979-1771. 800-979-1771.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love. But here in Texas, we don't expect the ways water is breaking down our foundations and damaging our homes. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is shifting. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Foundation Support Specialists. Make sure your investment is protected. Get your free inspection at foundationsupportspecialists.com.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. You call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
All right, the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's sports star, AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson sliding into your ear holes on a Thursday morning, baby.
Real quick, on Thursdays, it's kind of an important day for the grillers. If you haven't uploaded a picture of whatever you grilled this week with a description of what you did and allowed Joe and Jason to evaluate your meat, you really haven't done it right. And today, if your meat is spectacular, at least if Joe deems it so, at 6 o'clock, they're going to give a $50 gift card to Tri-County. So get your pictures uploaded.
How much
Show off
sausage
your
could I
meat.
win with that?
50, that's about 12 feet of sausage, I'd bet.
That's a good prize. It's a damn good prize. Also, join the Blitz at Retama Park.
Oh, that's right. Preakness
on
weekend.
Friday.
Yeah.
And I got news for you. This is a special edition of the Blitz.
Like the Blossom?
For 2 reasons.
Oh.
2 reasons it's a special edition. I'm going to be...
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to be hosting the Blitz with Jason. I say hosting. Jason... I presume Jason's going to lead the show, and I'm going to be along for the ride.
That like a thunderstorm, lean back and enjoy it.
Yeah. And also, it's going to, like it says, from 2 to 6, we'll be out there at Retama Park for the Preakness. Oh, no, friends. We're going to be out there 2 to 6:30. And
why 6:30?
Because, you know why? Because I'm a team player.
Okay.
And so Dak said, hey.
That's our suit, by the way.
Yeah, he said, hey, I know you're only supposed to be out there 2 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I know at 6 o'clock, you'll have done 8 hours of radio in a day, and you're going to be exhausted. But you know what? The Rangers game doesn't start till 6:30. Can you stretch it out and do that last 30 minutes for me till the Rangers game starts? And I told Jason was like, hell no. Jason said, I'm going to go to the union about this. And I said, hold on, Jason. This is a chance for us to play our cards right here. Get in good with Dax. That way, one day we can say, man, I'd only like to work 3.5 hours today. And then one day you and I are just going to leave at 9:30.
I'm hoping this works out for you. Good luck with this. I'm behind you every step of the way.
Thank you. All right. The Cleveland Cavaliers are in a weird position now because a lot of people thought the Cavs were sort of coming into the season. They felt like they were a contender, maybe a sleeper contender.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had told, I think if you had said that the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Sixers were the big 3 in the Eastern Conference, that the Cavs would have been a comfortable 4th.
Easily. A lot of talent there.
Well, the Bucks showed up to the playoffs not healthy. They're gone. Sixers, as usual, are gone. And the Cavs had a chance to make something happen, but they weren't even competitive really against the Celtics team. And now it brings you to the decision time, which, again, this is anytime a team's eliminated from the playoffs, it's instantly what's going to happen to the coach, what's going to happen to the star player. We've talked before on this show about disgruntled, eliminated veteran and who wants to be around, who wants to try this thing elsewhere. JB Bickerstaff, this is the least shocking thing. They asked him if he wanted to continue to be the coach of the Cavs. He said, yeah, we have continued to build this thing the right way. We're improving every single year. We got in the play-in, playoffs, win around. Everybody's getting better. We had a great year. This is the place I want to be. Later they asked if he expects to be. He said, no one's told me I'm not, so I'm going to keep showing up until they do. The fact that he's answering these questions is like, whoa, that's alarming. Here's what I think it boils down to. What happened? How much is Bickerstaff's future related to the future of Donovan Mitchell? Because I'm not sure Donovan Mitchell is going to be around next year.
Well, they're not getting along. There was a couple instances this year where Bickerstaff and Donovan had some issues on, maybe benching at inopportune times. Yep. There were some issues. You balance that against they paid Darius Garland a whole lot of money.
Yep.
Mitchell's contract expires at the end of 26. Now, if Mitchell wants to get paid, he'll stay in Cleveland. He'll because there's about a $70 million difference between staying and leaving.
So you're in a way you're right. So his he has 1 year left on his contract, and then he has a player option for the next
25,
year.
26, if you want it. And then they have the opportunity for the super max,
which is
with the bird rights.
4 years, 208 is
Right.
what he could. That's what he could get with the Cavs.
But the bird rights would allow the Cavs to go 265, give them another year. They could go as much as 265. Other teams can go as high as 200. There's another year that the Cleveland would get if he stayed, because the whole way keeping those guys around. I think he doesn't want to be there. And the problem is Bickerstaff is a retread. He is a fixer. He's not a keeper. He's a fixer. You go get him when your franchise is in trouble. He rights the ship, and then they move on. I don't see him staying long term. I'm not sure. I want to have Donovan Mitchell decide the future of my franchise. But if you decide that, you're going to end up paying him, and he'll be a Cav for forever. But to the detriment of the rest of the team. I don't know which way they're going to go, because I know they're going to get lots of sweet offers. There's people coming and knocking on their door.
And I think they have to entertain them, and here's why. And I understand that if they move on from Donovan Mitchell, their title window probably closes, because he's the best player on their team. I get that.
They're young. Jared Allen's 3 or 4 year pro. Evan Mobley's there. Darius Garland's got some time.
Well, that's my point.
They're going to pick up some draft picks. I can see saying yes.
There will be another window. It's just gonna close
move in the Spurs window. They'll come up at the same time.
Yes,
I see it.
Like the current window would close, but with a core of Allen, Mobley, and Garland, and obviously whatever else
three number ones and a player,
you've got a chance to rebuild and be good. The way this team is constructed is not ideal in my mind. Like, you had, because I've been saying I'd love for the Spurs to get Donovan Clingan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not opposed to having two big men. I think the problem is the Cavs have two big men who kind of do the same stuff.
I got three.
You don't really have you don't have a floor stretching big man, which I think is a problem. And it feels like Darius Garland's game and Donovan Mitchell's game,
same game,
are they get in the way of each other. So to me, the guy that you could move and get the most for and still have all these future pieces with you is Donovan Mitchell. You don't have Donovan Mitchell for the long term. Donovan Mitchell could leave after next year if you wanted. And there would be nothing you could do about it. It's not like the NFL where you could franchise tag him. He'd just be gone. And you can say, well, he'd have to sign for less elsewhere. How many times has LeBron done that? Once you get into
I don't think it's more about monopoly money, and mine is bigger than yours than it really matters.
I can only make 50 this year instead of 58. Well, okay. I think once you're at that level, I don't think it matters that much. And I could see Donovan Mitchell being a target for the Spurs.
All right, let's say
and
that
being a guy that you could pair with Wemby and like really be onto something.
Now, there is the question, and it's always going to be, is he capable and willing to come into a situation where a guy who is probably not to his level in the league, he hadn't earned
certainly
anything.
Hasn't done it.
Are you willing to be the other?
And that's the question.
What you'll be treated. And
I think I think Donovan Mitchell's been around long enough.
I hope.
And I think he thought grass is greener on the other side. And when he left Utah, he thought grass is greener on the other side. I'll still be the man here in Cleveland. But I think he probably realized, man, I had a lot of talent around me here, and we still had a pretty limited ceiling. Now, a lot of that was limited by health. The big four guys that we were talking about, Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, 28 games together. I mean, that's not a lot. So, but the idea of being paired with someone who is like an up-and-coming superstar, and the truth is, if Donovan Mitchell showed up next year, it's not crazy to think that Donovan Mitchell would be the best player on the Spurs
for a couple
next
years.
year
For a couple
and the
years.
year after.
Yeah.
But when the Spurs really become what when they become Voltron, what we're hoping they become, he would be the second best guy. Not unlike Shaq and Kobe.
It's an RPP for sure. I'd love to be the coach that gets to figure this out, because it would be if you just go lab it, like the 2K guys, go put those two guys and think of the opportunities and the possibilities of those two guys on the court together.
Yeah.
It is a frightening proposition, because there is, not since Russell have we had a guy that can attack the rim like he does and create the kind of gravity that suddenly everything is focused on him. And then you've got, it would be a glorious thing to have happen. They'd have to have him get over himself. They'd have to overcome the allure of the Lakers. And they'd have to give up a fair amount. This is Donovan Mitchell, and it would cost a lot.
Well, and remember, it's also salary considerations, like salary matching considerations, which means like a lot of these players that are here now, which for whatever reason, Spurs fans are very attached to these players. It's like, you won 22 games.
Seriously, it's a foxhole mentality. I mean, we were battling in the Alamo.
These are our losers.
Seriously. But we all went through it together, and we all kind of went through the rehab process of it. So we understand the pain, but it won't be too hard to wave goodbye.
Like, I've heard, we can't get rid of Vassell. We can't get rid of Johnson. It's like, what?
That's not what we do.
Do you want to win again, or do you want to keep being what you've been and wait? Remember, I said this before, and I really believe it. Everyone assumes that that Wemby is the third iteration, after Robinson and Duncan. To me, the big difference is it's very easy to picture Vic not being a lifetime Spur, just based on the NBA as what the NBA is today, but also based on him having international superstar appeal. If you were to put him in a major market, what he could draw. And not that Tim couldn't have had a bigger career if he were a New York Knick, but I think Tim also understood this was a good fit for him. I don't know that this is,
and Tim didn't want
right. I don't know that Wemby has that same mindset. Right. Okay. We got to hit a break. When we come back, I'm going to give you a chance to win ACL tickets again. And we're going to talk about Luka and Jason Tatum and what I think they have in common. We'll talk about that. It's a Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
How you feeling this morning? I hope you didn't wake up in pain. If you woke up feeling good and attacking the day, keep it to yourself and go about your business. If you're like the rest of us and woke up with something that's slowing you down or keeping you out of things you want to do, listen real close, because I have the answer for it. It's been the answer for me. It's a Rosti. Rosti practitioners are all around San Antonio with one real goal in mind, and that's to get you out of pain and get you back into life. And it's about how they do it that I've found so remarkable, because I did not want to walk in there and have somebody give me a bunch of medications to hide or to dull the pain. That doesn't fix me. That just pushes it down the road. I didn't want to have to deal with any kind of surgery. I had lower back issues. That was the worst thing I wanted to deal with. Well, I found the answer in a Rosti. They fixed the problem and taught me how to stay out of these situations that cause the problem. How many other physicians, doctors, therapists do that for you? They're all around town. They don't need a referral, and they accept most insurances. What are you waiting on? Write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. The website is Rosti.com. There's a good map there. I bet there's a lower provider less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. Listen, don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call on a Rosti provider today. They're going to get you fixed, and when they don't, you'll thank me later.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Febreze.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Texas weather this time of year means storms, wind, rain, and hail. You know, if you were hit with the recent storms and you think you have roof damage, don't make the situation worse by putting your faith in one of those out-of-town storm chasers. Work with a local roofing company with years of experience. Work with a company whose people live in our area and deal with the same weather we do. That's Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net. Buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it. If they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May 31st. Flexible online and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHED.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
All right, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It is the Morning Huddle. Looks like Maria won our tickets or won our register to win at 7:30. She knew that Travis was married to Kourtney Kardashian.
So we're going to be talking with Maria tomorrow. She qualified. She's in the race.
Are we going to talk to her?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll be dealing with her and 14 other.
I think we're only going to deal with one of them.
Well, I mean, they're going to be listening. I'm probably using broad terms, but she continues to play. So
yeah,
she's very well could be talking to her if, in fact, she wins tomorrow.
She's in the mix. All right. So here's the next chance to win ACL wristbands, which, by the way, we've got 3-day wristbands to ACL Fest, October 11th through 13th. You listen to our show, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. And the Blitz, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, and 5:30. You can qualify to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to week 2 of ACL. We're going to choose one winner at random from each show.
At random.
At the end of the week.
So they're not going to have to earn it. We're going to do random.
You earn your way in, and then it's luck of the draw.
That's really important to know. The only thing you have absolute control over is qualifying. Everything else that's up in the wind.
It's out of my hands.
There you go. Okay, because I was going to blame you for all the people that were going to be mad.
No, I won't even draw a name out of the hat. Like Vic will do that, and the people can be mad at him.
You know, I just ran into Vic. We're going to have to let him know that. We're going to have to publicize this. We're going to, what's it called when you out him? When you
we're dox him.
We're going to dox him.
Okay.
For the 30 upset qualifiers.
Yeah.
Have to come deal with next. Not us.
Sorry.
We'd
it's
like
not our fault. All right. So here we go. 210-656-3776. The question is, Travis Barker, we just talked about how he's married. He's a place in Blink 182. By the way, if you don't win, you can always buy your wristbands at aclfest.com. Forgot to mention that. Yeah. Travis Barker, we just mentioned, is married to Kourtney Kardashian. He'd been married twice before, but his middle wife was a lady named Shayna Moakler, and she was a former Miss USA, former Playmate of the Month. He has 2 children with her. She has a child with a former professional boxer, very famous professional boxer. I want to know who her first baby daddy was that Travis Barker from Blink 182. His kids are half siblings with this famous boxer's kids. First one to call in and let me know.
It's a small world, brother. It's
You
a
win.
Small world.
That's right. Oh, no, it's not that small of a world. Let me give you some of her
achievements.
Some of her list. Billy Idol. Yeah.
I'm all for it, of course.
The boxer that I was telling you about. Dennis Quaid. And there's one other one. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all the famous ones. Because
that's a random assortment of dudes.
The last guy, Travis Barker, obviously. The last guy she was dating was a Hell's Angels biker. So
I'm liking this chick more and more.
Yeah, I mean, she's a
I bet she can have an
fun
interesting
gal.
conversation.
She's a fun gal. The one thing that, like, when I was reading her Wikipedia, that I said that's not fun. She's a PETA gal.
Oh, well,
which
taking care of animals.
I love
Could be
animals
worse.
too.
As long as they're not like an devout.
I just like to eat them also.
Let's see, that's the problem.
That's my big issue. Like, I love animals, but I also love eating
so delicious.
some of them. Like, I love dogs, and I won't eat a dog.
At least not on purpose.
Right. But, some things are out of our control. We all know that. All right. So hopefully we register our second winner of the
they're
day
racked
there.
and loaded. Yeah,
we got one.
They are qualified very quickly.
Oh, we got them on air? Okay. Who's up first? Is it Louis? Line 1 first? What's up, Louis? Do you know the answer?
Yeah, so I started dialing when you were still talking, but I think what you asked was like who the professional she was married to,
Yeah.
she has a kid with.
She wasn't married to him. They were engaged, but yeah, she has a kid with a former pro boxer.
Yeah, Oscar De La Hoya.
That's correct. Congratulations.
I
Just
gotta
like
tell
that.
you, when you told me that, I
Louis.
was floored.
So I was reading up about their relationship. And as I like to do, I'm very nosy. I like to know, like, I wonder why they broke up. So he was at the Latin Emmys or Latin Grammys or something like that. And she stayed home, and he showed up at the award show with another chick, and she saw it on TV, and she's like, I'm out. The Latin Grammy Awards. She said she was at home watching it on television, saw De La Hoya escorting another woman to the show. She filed a $62.5 million palimony suit against her ex-fiance.
I get the sense she probably won.
Claiming he was an alcoholic, abused her and her daughter, and that he used them as props to promote his public image. Case was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount.
She likes older dudes.
I think, she's an older gal.
Is she? I mean, Billy Idol, that's he's up there, man.
She is,
Dennis Quaid's up there too, man.
She's 49. How old's Travis Barker?
Interesting.
I mean, he can't be much younger than that, right? Or much older than that.
I don't know. I just assumed he was younger than that.
He's 48. So she was the older woman. She trapped him in her web.
I know, man. Mrs. Robinson.
Man.
Her womanly wiles.
There we go.
I bet she knows where to stand.
I think you're probably right. I don't think she does it. I think she does it when she wants to. She wears what she wants to wear when she wants to wear it.
She's wearing the blessed garment.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into this Luka and Tatum discussion. I said they've got something in common, and here's what I think it is. As we see, Jason Tatum moves on to the conference finals. Was this the 4th straight year they've been in the conference finals? And Luka moves his team one game closer to that goal. And it got me thinking that these two guys 3 years ago, had you made a list of who are the next guys to be the dude in the NBA, I think it would have been those two names. I think they were the guys that everybody expected. This is the next big thing in the NBA. And as these playoffs have gone on, and I'm not trying to take any of this guilt off of me because I'm responsible for some of this too. We've seen guys like Anthony Edwards and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton. And it's really easy to get caught up in the moment and say, man, these young kids are so good. But then and it's really something you said about a team that brought me to this thought. Like you always say, you can't skip steps. And I think maybe we gave up too early on Jason Tatum and Luka, thinking that they couldn't do it. Luka's 25 years old. And we were like, well, he's just not that dude. He's just going to be nothing but a point scorer, a stat counting machine. Like maybe it's their turn. And maybe this whole idea that Steph and AD and LeBron and KD are at home is opening the door for the guys who are actually next in line, who were Luka and Jason Tatum, not Anthony Edwards, not SGA. As great as those guys are, the guys who have been waiting in the queue, as the Brits would say, are Jason Tatum and Luka. 3-4 years ago, maybe you disagree with this, but I think the consensus was that Luka was supposed to be what Jokic is right now. Like Jokic has taken over the crown as the best player in the NBA. I think the overvailing thought was Luka was going to be the guy. He was the next superstar Euro. And Jokic came in and said, no, it's going to be me. But it's quite possible that Luka just wasn't ready to be that when we wanted him to be. Just like Anthony Edwards isn't where I want him to be just yet. And that it's frustrating because I put my balls on the line and said, he's ready. It's time. And it looks like I was wrong. But it brought me to, man, it just wasn't his turn yet because these dudes have been waiting. They've been knocking on the door. They won't be skipping steps, especially Tatum. I mean, Tatum's been so close and just not been able to get over that last hump. The Celtics, the fact that they haven't won a championship is like, it's a disappointing fact. As good as they've been in the regular season every year, I mean, you can't look at it at anything other than a disappointment that they haven't won a title with this crew. So to me, these two guys are just reminding us that you can't skip steps. You have to go through this phase where you think you're ready, but someone who's been around a little bit longer says, friend, not quite yet. I feel like that's what's happening right now.
You know, what you said 3 years ago, and I was trying to think back, there's always the question, if you're starting a team today, who would you draft? And I think Joker, Luka, and let's not forget about Embiid. I think Embiid was floating around in there too. And then we had Ja there for a little bit until he started extracurriculars. So I think that, and then Tatum's in there, and we've had these five,
Giannis
and Giannis, and I think I'm putting Giannis with another generation. I'm putting Giannis.
He's the old guard.
I believe he is. But he's not. But I think a lot of people's minds, he was. And
but isn't Jokic that then?
No, because Jokic is still here. Joker, he's won the titles, and Giannis had his and hasn't been able to get back. So I think we kind of put him in second. Luka is alone. Luka is doing Kyrie's there, but he's alone. Tatum's doing this with Jaylen Brown. Tatum's not even the highest paid player on his team.
He's also got Derek White.
And there's a lot of people, I would say, inside of Boston, probably about as vocal, that would say, I'd rather keep Jaylen Brown than Jason Tatum in the long run. I mean, I think there's some people under their breath that would say, I'd rather have Brown because of some of the things he does. I think he's primed to be that guy. But let me tell you, for Tatum to take that mantle, he has to win it. There's no maybe he can win it. Luka could become that and not even win the title because he's doing it literally alone. I think we got to throw Brunson in here too. I think he's kind of brought himself into this conversation of guys that are going to be the face. But I think Luka is right there. If he can do it right now, yeah, he will have. You hit a good point there. He will have run the race, done the proper things, gotten himself into a position to lead a very good team and make them great. That's the separator. And we saw Giannis do it. And if Luka's right there, he will attain it. But there will only be one. There won't be two.
Now, the difference between these two guys is we'll start with the difference between Brunson and these two guys. Brunson's been the number 2 for somebody. And, it's clear that he's a number 1. I don't know if he's a number 1 for like a really great team. But I think he's a number 1.
New York. And if he was doing this someplace else, I don't think we'd have quite the gravity. But my gosh, you cannot ignore the fact that he's going to be front and center for the league's marketing for the next couple of years.
If Jason Tatum doesn't win pretty soon,
it's
he become like we just talked about Donovan Mitchell. And I say at some point in your career, you realize I'm not going to win a title if I'm the best guy on my team. I need to get with someone who I can be like a really, and you never want to say I want to be the Robin to somebody's Batman. But you like it to feel more like the Justice League and like, I'm going to still be Batman. I'm just going to go play with Superman.
I like the Justice League. That's a good one.
But that's because nobody wants to admit I'm Robin. So but when you play on a team, like if you're winning championships, you're a real super team. It can be Superman and Batman. And even though Batman's not Superman, guys don't feel bad being Batman. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Okay, let's talk about Tatum's a unique thing because you talk about the Dukeness of him, that there's a softness to Jason Tatum. Is that something?
He's not a killer.
No. But if you look at who the faces of the league are, every one of them been a killer.
Yeah.
Is that a mantle that we want him to have? I mean,
yes.
Okay. I like him. I do. I like him. But
I would like him a lot better if I thought he had some dog to him. I just don't.
But I feel like Luka does. I feel like the other guys that are right there, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't believe Luka needs to have a title for me to go, that's the best guy in the world. I know Tatum does.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's any question about that. He's got to prove himself.
But this generation does not have a long time. The next guys are coming.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I had quickly forgotten about and it was a mistake by me to just feel like, well, Luka is he is what he is. He is what he's shown so far, but he's 25 years old. Had we given up on Jokic as fast as people gave up on Luka, we never would have seen this part of him, right? Because after 3 years of Jokic, was there any indication Jokic was going to be the best player in the world? I didn't see any.
Well, no.
It kind of came out of nowhere. With Luka,
we
all thought this was coming, and it just hadn't come yet. So because it wasn't instant gratification, we said, well, he is what he is. He's a loser. Jason Tatum, he goes to 3 conference finals, comes away with no rings. Well, he's a loser. No, it's not just written in the stars that because he didn't win the first 3 times he got. LeBron didn't win his first couple times that he was in the conference finals or the finals. Sometimes you can't skip the step. And there are guys who do, and God bless them. I mean, it's amazing when they do it, but it's just so rare. I think that I made the mistake of thinking that Luka and Tatum had proven that they couldn't do it. And maybe it's just the mindset of this era, the social media era. I'm ready to move on to the next thing.
Now, what happens if Tatum doesn't, for whatever reason, or Luka doesn't? Are they out of the conversation? Like, this is your one. If you don't hit it now, the Olympics ain't for another 4 years. You're not going to get another shot. You got to do it now.
Sure feels that way, at least for Luka.
Yeah.
Because what are the odds if, let's say Luka wins the West, and he's an underdog to do that. But let's say he wins the Mavericks win the West. What are the odds he ever gets back? Like the West, you
got Shea just up the road. Yeah.
You can pull a team out of the standings and make a good argument that if they're not good enough to win a title now, they're coming. And that's almost with every team. In the East, I think Tatum's got a little more room. So even let's say they lose to the Nuggets. Okay, you lost to back-to-back champions, but it's really, really easy to project a path back for Jason Tatum. And it's also important to remember Jason Tatum lost his coach. And that's
two coaches, really. I mean, he's gone through a couple.
But this is I don't think there's anybody who thinks that the Celtics upgraded at head coach.
No, in fact, after Udoka left, we all looked at Mazzulla like this guy's just a Band-Aid.
Exactly. So the fact that Tatum's still doing, and maybe they move on from, I doubt they would, but if they didn't do it this year and they moved on from Mazzulla and got a better head coach, maybe. But I'm not as willing to throw Tatum out yet, even though I like Luka better. Like I think I can picture Luka as a champion before I can picture Tatum. But I just feel like the Celtics are going to have more opportunities that I don't think Dallas will. Like if you said, will Luka be back if he makes the finals this year and loses, will he be in another finals in his career? I think my answer would be no.
Probably not.
It's just so hard. I mean, you mentioned it with Giannis. It's so hard to get back. You can get there, but once you're there once, if you don't do something with it, man, it is a climb to get back. And it's so hard to keep these teams together. If Tatum doesn't win here, I think he runs the real risk, like I said, of becoming that Donovan Mitchell. And he's a really good player, but I don't know if he's the dude.
They're going to have $100 million a year tied up in two dudes.
Yep. And I don't know if either one of them are the dude, which is,
we'll find out.
Really, really painful. All right. Hour number 4 coming up. I'm going to get into some, are they tacos or Mexican sandwiches? We'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM, Floresville.
GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer, paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. What are you waiting for? We want to buy your car right now. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers across the United States put more money in their pocket by going to GiveMeTheVin.com. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Over the past decade, the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roof Hub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roof.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 dollars into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code ALAMO for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code ALAMO. Prize Picks, fantasy, you're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code ALAMO, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-785-9545. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-785-9545 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-785-9545 to see if you qualify. That's 800-785-9545.
Febreze. Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
It's time to treat your home and your feet to new carpet. The Home Depot has an offer for you. For a limited time, you can get 10% off select Home Decorators Collection carpet, and installation by licensed providers is included. Offer valid May 9th through May 26, 2024. Receive 10% off select Home Decorators Collection special order carpet and installation. Installation included with qualifying purchase. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
The NFL's complete schedule was released last night. Both the Dallas Cowboys and Houston Texans will have 6 primetime games. In the NBA, the Celtics closed out the Cavs 113-98 last night in Game 5 to advance to their 3rd straight Eastern Conference Finals, while the Mavs put the Thunder on the brink of elimination with Game 5 win 104-92. This is Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4. Here we go, baby. Let's finish strong.
1 hour left.
It's the Morning Huddle.
And then you only have 8.5 hours of radio tomorrow, and the weekend stretches before you.
No big deal. No big. That's easy work, Bubba. Like Rob mentioned, I will be doing the Blitz tomorrow at Retama Park.
Come on out to Retama and hang out with the Blitz with AJ. I'm gonna be hanging out there too.
Let's go, man.
I got some money to win.
Yeah.
I got to take some money out that I left there last week.
We got to. I did that too. I left the park last time we were there with a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got it's like $9 or something.
Oh no,
it's like,
my ticket was worthless before I hit the street.
Oh,
already gone.
Damn.
Yeah, well,
we'll
figure it out when we go back.
Hey, that's the beauty of gambling is you always get it back next time, and if you don't, you always get it back next time.
There's always Hawaii,
and if you don't, you always get it back next time.
You had to end it on Monday night. Now you can gamble on football any night
every
of the week.
damn day, except that Tuesday. Man, I hate Tuesdays. All right, we have. I said something before we went to break, and the Brigade Bar got all worked up about it.
Let me tell you, this is a touchy subject.
Tacos are Mexican sandwiches. They just are. I didn't realize this, though. I used to be a believer that tacos weren't sandwiches. Now, there's the argument that, like, are hot dog sandwiches. I mean, it's meat wrapped in a bread product is generally a sandwich, right? Or meat with...
Oh, is there a fold or two pieces is the question.
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. Well, so is a quesadilla a sandwich?
I'm not a judge. I can't define such things. Who
I
am I?
don't know.
It's a sandwich. By the classic definition, yes.
Well,
it is a sandwich.
An Indiana Superior Court judge has ruled tacos and burritos are Mexican-style sandwiches. It's official. It's in the books.
Well,
the ruling is in. Bang the gavel. Here we go.
Why was he asked to decide?
There was a dispute between a restaurateur named Martin Quintana and the Allen County Plan Commission over the type of restaurant establishment that would be allowed in a strip mall. He wanted to put in his taco shop, Famous Taco. I've never heard of it. It can't be that famous.
Well, in Indiana, they're the greatest.
But they said, we can't put it in because there's already a place that has Subway sandwiches, like that's that type of a sandwich. And he said, listen, these are different things.
They are.
The court agrees that tacos and burritos are Mexican style sandwiches, and that the original written commitment does not restrict potential restaurants to only American style sandwiches.
I am genuinely upset by this. I think this needs to be taken without hesitation to whatever appellate court, and this is a constitutional thing here. How dare you define to me that a taco is in any competition is in the same realm as a subset? It's not. Seriously.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Not even. This was not opening up a taco restaurant. This was the last name of the guy that was opening the taco restaurant in Indiana.
Quintana.
How on earth can you? And a judge stood up and stood with the big sandwich lobby?
No, we went against him because he's allowing this place to go in.
Oh, he should. Okay, then I misread this. It is not a sandwich. He did the right thing. I thought he stood with the Subway big sandwich.
Here's what he said. What it boiled down to was they said there was room for one sandwich place, and he said while these are sandwiches, they are Mexican sandwiches.
Makes it different.
Thus, not competing with American sandwiches.
All right, he did the right thing. But he did the right thing, but he defined them improperly.
Okay. Well, he's in the
okay. How do we define sandwich?
Superior court, Rob. You can't argue
more
that.
Superior than others. Is a sandwich 2 pieces of bread or one?
It can be either. Because think about it. When you go to Subway, they cut a loaf of bread and it folds over. It's not two separate pieces.
But it could easily be sliced all the way through and not alter the sandwich. You could easily slice all the way through it and not alter the very fundamental being that is the sandwich.
Yeah.
But if you cut through the tortilla, you have altered the fundamental being. It does not support itself without the fold. It is a different thing entirely. If a sandwich can be defined as something that can be cut all the way through without altering the product, that's a sandwich. This is the lengths we have to go to now, just so I can have a decent lunch.
This is probably an argument that will never be settled.
Well,
in the other 49 states.
I'm glad our courts are taking part in this.
In Indiana, tacos and burritos
can exist in a world
are Mexican sandwiches. Vic is shaking his head. I mean, Vic.
I want to know. Am I wrong? I mean, what is? I haven't read the bar.
He's the Mexican representation of the show.
I want you to represent all Latino, Latinx, all of the culture, the culturas, all of that falls on your shoulders, Victor.
The gente.
All of the gentes. Yes. Okay. So
it's not a sandwich.
There you
It's a taco. The closest other thing to a sandwich would be a torta,
which is a Mexican sandwich.
Well, that's just a sandwich,
right? But not a taco. Torta would be a sandwich.
If
or
I were you,
gordita.
If I were you, I'd be real careful about arguing with the judge here.
But what part of the nation decided that?
I'm just saying, if I were you, I'd be careful.
Taco Tuesday in the Clint's very different. Very different. It has a
Rob
whole
can get
other
away with it.
connotation.
Rob can get away with it.
Yeah, but no, I just.
Yeah, all right.
I
Guys like
disagree.
you and me who represent the culture, we can't.
Yeah. No. Everyone will agree with me. No, a taco's a taco, and that's it.
Okay. Well,
I wouldn't want to be that judge.
I don't even
settle this out of here.
Tacos and burritos don't even go in the same category.
No, it's not even.
Burrito has to be wrapped.
Yes.
Yes, you're correct.
So for this to go to court,
Like there can't be any exposed meat fillings in the burrito.
Your Honor, I'd like to cite Johnson versus Montequin in Indiana.
Yeah.
Where we decided once and forever that a taco is a Mexican sandwich. So let it be written, so let it be law.
Yeah,
Next.
no.
It's
Disagree.
hot dogs.
Well, it's spoken into existence. It is what it is. We ain't changing it now.
Like, is an egg roll just a deep fried burrito?
What
I have
came first, the burrito or the egg roll?
You know.
Is an egg roll a chimichanga?
There you go.
Is an egg roll a
I believe
chimichanga?
it is.
Nope.
I'm not taking.
Why not?
We're appropriating
it's not.
cultures here.
What's the difference?
One's an egg roll, one's a chimichanga.
Deep fried dough.
I mean,
with
it's
stuff inside.
Rolled up dough, deep fried.
Different part of the world.
Oh, I mean that's.
I don't know.
I mean, just like you said, a sandwich is a torta. A torta is a sandwich.
Yeah.
An egg roll is a chimichanga. A chimichanga is an egg roll.
But a
Well,
taco
It's
is
the
not a
ingredient.
sandwich.
The ingredients make what it is.
No,
Are there
it's-
rules about what ingredients
it's
have to go into a
it's the
burrito?
method of construction. It's not the ingredient.
No, when you're poor, anything goes in a burrito.
Yeah.
If I put pork and onion in a burrito, is it a burrito?
It's
Yes.
a pork and onion burrito.
If I put pork and onion in an egg roll,
It's an egg roll.
It's an egg roll.
it's
Because
still
it has cabbage in it.
so I can't put cabbage in a burrito?
No,
What if I got no lettuce?
you don't eat it with anything then, just pork.
What if I need my greens? What if I'm a vegan?
You wouldn't
you're not
be eating the
eating any of this
burrito. You
What?
wouldn't be eating
I
this
can
then.
eat a if I'm a vegetarian, I could eat a bean and cheese and lettuce burrito.
Not the way the beans are prepared around here.
Yeah.
I
We
saw
put beer in ours.
I saw a
And
thing
pork and
that's
manteca
true.
and all that stuff. No, you wouldn't want to.
I saw a thing on Instagram today. It was like, never forget what they took from us. And it was a Taco Bell ad. And it was for a 5-layer burrito. When the 5-layer burrito first came out, and it said 5-layer burrito, Taco Bell, 89 cents. And then right below it, it had the 5-layer burrito on like DoorDash or whatever, $5.69. It's like, man, that's not even inflation. Y'all are just stealing from us now. You can't tell me that that's everything's gone up that much. Stop it. I got one more story I wanted to tell you.
8 foot tall dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
There's a man in Little Rock. First of all, let me ask you this. If I told you there was a man named Joel de Jesus Solorzano Vieda, and I told you he was 8 foot tall, would you believe that?
Probably not.
Definitely not. Well, the cops didn't either. He is a 33-year-old man who was arrested on charges of first offense operating under the influence.
All right.
First offense possession of a controlled substance, which was methamphetamine. Possession of an open container of alcohol. Providing false identification information, unlawful use of a license or non-operator's ID card, and no valid driver's license. That's a lot of things.
Just another night out in Little Rock for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, Joel de Jesus Solorzano Vieda, he got arrested when there were reports of an erratic driver heading into Rock Rapids. A deputy found a 2016 Ford Fusion being driven by Vieda, and he also observed that it was driving erratically. So he pulled it over. He had sunglasses on, although it was cloudy and raining. And when he removed his sunglasses, the deputy said, He's got bloodshot eyes.
Again, not a crime to wear sunglasses or have bloodshot eyes. So let's get to the criminal activity.
There's an odor of intoxicants here.
Well, then now we're talking.
A 6-pack of Corona was observed behind the passenger seat. An open container of Corona was observed on the center console. Now we're into crime, right?
He's drinking Corona. All right.
That's crime, right?
In a lot of instances, yes.
Okay. The deputy said, I'm going to need to see your identification. So he handed him a Minnesota driver's license that was determined to be fake. And the way the officer realized it was fake is, despite Vieta standing about 5 feet 8 inches tall, it listed him as being 8 feet tall. A preliminary breath test registered over the legal limit for blood alcohol. A folded dollar bill was found in the patrol vehicle containing a white powder that was determined to be methamphetamine. This guy had all kinds of problem. He eventually provided his name and date of birth, and it was discovered he was wanted on a Webster County warrant for failure to appear in 2017 on an operating while intoxicated.
So was he
charge.
using his real name on the fake license?
No.
Or was he like McLovin?
He was McLovin.
Okay.
Yeah.
But his real name is Jose.
That's his real name.
What was his Minnesota? What was his license on that?
It didn't
was
give
it like
his
John
license
Smith?
name. Yeah, it was probably like Friedrich von Hammerstein. But no, they were like, I don't think you're 8 feet tall, sir. I don't believe this.
I've had a hard year.
And
it's been a difficult time.
Yeah, You're not going to sell me on this. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the PGA Championship that's going on right now, and I want to know if there's a world where Tiger can become a player in golf again. And this is a conversation we might only need to have once on this show, but I want to ask you, Rob, what your thoughts are. We'll do that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Thursday on the Blitz, all the NBA playoff reaction, but the big news of the day is the NFL schedule release. We'll talk about it with Sean Merriman as he joined us at 2:35. We'll take a look at all the Cowboy primetime matchups and the Houston Texans big games as John McClain from HoustonTexans.com joins us at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Okay, it's here. Everyone stay calm. It's Kohl's lowest prices of the season. And when I say low, I mean low. I got my kids Jumping Beans tees for $3.99. Treated myself to some cute tees and tank tops under $5. And got great finds for our patio, 50% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash on all of it. Sounds too good to be true? Well, I guess you'll have to go to Kohl's and find out for yourself. Select styles. Offers end May 15th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code KIND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Yeah, here we go. It's the Morning Huddle.
Is that like Omaha?
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. When did he start that? Like,
it's been going, but it caught
2
on
years?
this year. It caught on this year. The Here We Go caught on.
Here we go.
Like the third week of the season, we picked it up.
It's been going on for longer.
Oh,
than
yeah.
that.
But it became a thing this year.
Because I was telling my wife about it 2 years ago, and when I would watch the Cowboys, every time he'd say it, and then I would say, "Here we go," and she's like, "You have to stop saying it. It's all I can hear now."
It's
And
pretty cool,
you
though.
cannot watch a Cowboys game without hearing him say it, and it's very frustrating to her that I pointed it out. Because now it's been 2 years of her just like pulling her hair out every time the Cowboys are on television.
It's more fun than Omaha.
Yeah. I mean, it makes more sense. But it also seems odd that like you want to tell the other team, like, here we go.
Change the play, new play.
Here we go. The PGA Championship at Valhalla is going on. Got tipped. What do they teed off? What do you start it with? I know, like when you do these drunk golf tournaments, it's a shotgun start. How do they? What's the official term? Tee off.
They tee off.
They teed off at Valhalla,
which is in Kentucky.
Yes,
we've learned.
Which it sounds like it'd be in a way fancier place, but it's in Kentucky, Lexington, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Lexington. Could be Louisville. I don't know. No, it is Louisville. Xander Schauffele, your early leader through 7. He's a 4 under. Jordan Spieth at 3 under. Rory McIlroy, who is the second favorite, is at 2 under. I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
He's got some things going on.
You have to make a little bit of money.
Looks like Rory's getting a divorce. So I don't know when it's going to be finalized, but I'm guessing she'd get half of this check if he wins the PGA. So he might not be interested in winning this week.
I hope he had good representation at the beginning of this nuptial.
You'd think so. I don't know how they do it over in Europe, though.
I don't know.
He's one of those.
It's going to cost him.
He's one of those people. I'm not sure if I don't think Scotty Scheffler. Oh yeah, Scotty Scheffler hasn't teed off yet. He's the one everybody's watching because he wins every tournament now. He tees off at 123. It looks like, but Tiger Woods, his round is underway, and so far so good. Relatively through 6, he's 1 over. So he just bogeyed because last I looked, he was even through 5. Had a birdie earlier this morning, and it's like, okay, maybe that we're on to something here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer in that Tiger has to be good for there to be widespread interest in golf again, or there has to be a new Tiger. And I just don't know when that's ever going to come, if it's ever going to come.
No, it's not gonna go.
unless it's Tiger's son, which
There'll never be another Tiger, man. There'll never be another this.
Okay. Do you think there's a world where Tiger wins another major?
We saw Phil get one late. I mean, we've seen those. The last gasp effort. What was there was one old dude that won back in the 80s that kind of came out of nowhere. It's entirely possible, and if anybody could do it, it's him. Will he do it? No, because we now have guys like Scheffler and the likes that are just so freaking good. I mean, I think he had an opportunity the last 4 or 5 years. If it was going to happen, it would have had to happen then, but physically he wasn't ready. But he doesn't. I disagree with the size of golf and Tiger. His name needs to be around it. He needs to be the golf ambassador. I don't think he needs to be on the course for him to carry the mantle for golf.
You don't think so?
No, because we haven't seen him win in a long time. And we didn't watch Arnie win forever, but Arnie was still the heart and soul of this game. It was for a long time until Tiger took it. And Tiger is the heart and soul of golf. And he's played this political tightrope match between the PGA and the Livers, where he has not committed to the Livers despite the offers of billions or whatever it might have been, because I think he realizes that his place in this golf world is, if for the game itself to continue at a pace that even moderately of what it was, he has to be the face. No matter who has come since then, has not come close to what Tiger has meant to everything.
And the problem is all these guys that we talk about that they're really good and they'll be really good for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't last. Like, I remember Rory was supposed to be the next guy. Is that going to happen now? I mean, he's one of the best guys. I don't know if he's going to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time where it looked like Jordan Spieth was the guy.
Everybody wanted Jordan because he's a nice guy. They did everything.
They wanted him to be it. I don't know if he's it.
No, he's not.
John Rahm and Brooks Koepka over the last couple of years, I've heard both of those guys mentioned as guys who could be the guy. I don't know that that's happening. And now it's like Xander Schauffele and Scotty Scheffler are the guys that I hear the most of being the guy, but
they don't move
I think
the
it's
needle.
just a circle of life, man. Like if you told me that that I don't know, Brooks Koepka or Xander Schauffele wasn't in the field this week, I would have been like, oh,
yeah, too bad.
Tiger's the only guy. Like if you said, okay, the Masters this week, no Tiger in the field, that's the only guy you talk about when they're not in the field. That shows you there's just levels to what people are interested in or care about. And I don't know that as good as Scotty Scheffler looks like he is, and man, he looks like he's really good. I just don't know if like we're going to care.
Well, also we have to deal with the issue that the talent is segmented, that we only are seeing. I think there's still more talent in the PGA as a total, but there's more stars over at the Livers, and we're not seeing those guys on a regular basis, so we really don't even know. So no matter what Scheffler does, he's not doing it every weekend against the world's best. He's doing it against most of them and some of them, but it's not like we saw with Tiger where every week he went and did it. And until we get that, Tiger has got to be a name that's talked about with every tournament. He either has to be discussed, has to be the opening guy. And until we find it or find a way to resolve this civil war that golf is, it's going to have to be Tiger or nothing.
There was a king of the mountain for so long, and he took on all comers and he beat them all. Like, and everybody would try to say, this is the next guy. This is the next guy. Who was the guy? He had a mustache. So it wasn't, I mean, Phil was kind of regarded as like he's probably the closest anyone came to really pushing Tiger, but he wasn't really close. Not in Tiger's prime anyway. But I remember when it was Sergio Garcia was going to dethrone Tiger. No, he's not. There's been all these guys, and he just never came down.
So my question for you is, and for everybody else that's really into the golf, what would happen if Tiger did something and had to go away for whatever, just, made you mad, sided with the Livers, or just said, I'm done, I'm retiring, and I'm going to go the way of name the retired athlete that just disappeared? What would golf be then?
It's a good question. I don't know that I don't get mad at these guys for going to play for Live.
No, I don't, because I only watch the majors anyway, for
right,
the most part, so I get to see it all together anyway. But the guys that I know that are golf types, they can't even see a world without Tiger. I mean, it just doesn't even fathom to them that there's a possibility that the heart, soul, psyche, money, all of that, if it was gone, I don't know what you got.
I also think, like, when you say if Tiger went and he joined the Live, and people were like, well, now what do we do? I think all the people that get mad at everybody who goes to the Live, if Tiger did it, they'd be like, oh.
Well, I think
like their minds would open to, well, if Tiger's doing it, maybe it's not the worst thing.
But Tiger would be the only one you could go, well, I can see why I would pay him $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know, I can't justify, you name the Euro slap that's getting 250 and you go, wow, you know, I don't understand what that. But you know, Tiger's going to grind and go win. He'd be the only guy in the world that could justify it. It's going to die on the vine. And Tiger has handled this very well.
Yeah.
Politically, he's done everything absolutely right to keep himself above and away from the fray.
Vijay Singh.
Oh,
he was one of those guys.
It was Greg Norman would choke every Sunday, and then would Tiger come in and take it away. Monty, remember Colin Montgomery waddling around the course back in the day? It was so head and shoulders above.
Bubba Watson.
There
was
was
the guy I was
Bubba.
trying to think of.
We love
Watson.
us some Bubba though, man. Bubba's one of my favorites.
Justin Rose. It was Justin Rose's time. No, it's not.
No.
It's not Adam Scott's time. It's not Ernie L's time. It's not Retief Goosen. It's just Tiger.
Man, we're going down the memory lane here.
I mean, that's crazy, but that's just what it was, man. All right. We're going to hit our break, and when we come back, we're going to go over what Vegas is going over. We're also going to give you one last chance to qualify to win those ACL tickets, ACL 3-day wristbands. We are doing that the bottom of every hour, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. We don't do it at 6:30 because there's not enough people awake. We still appreciate you guys.
Yes.
We just don't wake up that early. Or like we're not awake enough to do trivia. And then the Blitz does it at the bottom of every hour of their show. And somebody at the end of this week is going to win 2 wristbands to ACL. And if you don't win them, you can always buy them at aclfest.com. We'll do that on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hope you woke up this morning and washed yourself clean underneath a Connecticut water softened shower. Baptized yourself in some San Antonio water, leaving no residue and heading off into the important day that's coming. If that's you, you can carry on with your day. If you do not have a Connecticut water softener, I want you to listen real close. You're missing out on the best, and the best opportunity to have the best is going on right now. If you'll call the Knippas in Connecticut SA right now at 656 Pure, they will happily send one of their highly trained technological experts into your home and put in a Connecticut water softener free of charge, no commitment in your home for 90 days. So you can see what so many of us already know, that we have access to the very best water softener that San Antonio and South Texas need. You know, you're bringing water out of the aquifer, you're bringing it out of a well, you're coming through some limestone, and they bring a little bit of it with you. It ends up in your pipes, on your skin, on your hair, and your plates, and your dog dishes, and everything in between. It happens. We don't like it. And if you don't want it, get a Connecticut. It's just that easy. Call 656 Pure. Have them come out, and you'll see what I do. In 90 days, you'll be just like me. You'll have a Connecticut water softener in your home for life. That's what they say it, and I believe it. Call them today. Go to ConnecticutSA.com for all the details. Get a Connecticut. Be with the cool kids, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to CleanOrigin.com. Founded by a leading family in the diamond industry for more than a century, we're experts in lab-grown diamonds because that's all we do. Clean Origin, the only diamond jewelers who give you a 100-day, no questions asked return on your purchase. Head to CleanOrigin.com or one of our retail stores and mention code Radio10 for 10% off your purchase. That's CleanOrigin.com, code Radio10.
Pack the Dome this Sunday as Puro San Antonio football returns to the Alamo Dome. The playoff push is on for the San Antonio Brahmas as they return home Sunday against the Arlington Renegades. Fun for the entire family. Experience the excitement. Buy your tickets now at theufl.com. Come watch Coach Wade Phillips lead the Brahmas against the Arlington Renegades this Sunday afternoon at 3 in the Alamo Dome. Get your tickets now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank God. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans for $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure. But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
Okay, it's here. Everyone stay calm. It's Kohl's lowest prices of the season. And when I say low, I mean low. I got my kids jumping beans tees for $3.99. Treated myself to some cute tees and tank tops under $5. And got great finds for our patio, 50% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash on all of it. Sounds too good to be true? Well, I guess you'll have to go to Kohl's and find out for yourself. Select styles. Offers end May 15th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love. But here in Texas, we don't expect the ways water is breaking down our foundations and damaging our homes. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is shifting. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Foundation Support Specialists. Make sure your investment is protected. Get your free inspection at foundationsupportspecialists.com.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is Joe Reinagel. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
That's right, baby. Lay down that funky stuff for me. Uh-huh.
Smile when you say that.
Bum, 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 bum. You ain't finding grooves like that on the Blitz, I can tell you that. Them other shows, they ain't got it like we got it, baby. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson here. And boy, I got to give away the last qualification here.
This is it till we give them away for real tomorrow.
More. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reward the YouTubers because, man, they were super active in there today. I'm not always good at reading the YouTube during the show. Like I've got to focus on doing a show. I'm apparently Rob, when he was running the program here, he was really good at reading the comments while doing the show. I'm a failure at that.
Multitask, AJ.
So probably because, when I do a show, it takes a lot more effort than when you did it.
Yeah. I mean,
you were just kind of a roll the ball out, and
I'm the Pat Riley of it.
So I don't always get to be as involved with the YouTube as I'd like to be, but I appreciate you guys. I want you to tell your friends. How many do we got 11 likes today? All right. I'll take it. We're double digits. Could use some more, but that's just my preference. ACL Fest, 2 3-day wristbands we're giving away tomorrow, but you can qualify to win here. You listen to the Morning Huddle, 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30, and you get qualified to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to week 2 of ACL. We're going to choose a winner at random tomorrow.
Random.
So here we go. And if you don't win, of course, you can buy your wristbands at aclfest.com. Today's Blink 182 day. I've asked 2 Travis Barker related questions. Here is the question. Mark Hoppus, who is he's a singer and bassist and I think keyboard player for Blink 182. He's the only guy who kind of has always been part of the band.
He's the OG.
He's the OG. When Tom DeLonge went crazy, everybody kind of did some side projects, went their own way. I want to know what was the name of Mark Hoppus's side project. He did it with a guy from a band called All Time Low. It was just a duo, 2 dudes, and they were like, you know what? Let's get together and make some music.
I remember this. Now, what was the music? What was there was a single in this.
They had their first EP was called Strange Love.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say they had a single called Drug.
Is that the one that made it? I mean, they weren't around, but for a cup of coffee. But there was one that got some play.
Yeah. So there you go. Eloy is our winner. Eloy's not already qualified, is he?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Don't double dip.
We
Eloy.
have records. We can check these things.
So there you go. It's Simple Creatures is the name of the band. Eloy is the winner.
Simple Creatures.
Simple Creatures. I'm a simple creature.
Well, I mean,
about as simple as they come, some would say.
I have basic needs.
That's right. Hot dogs and tacos.
Well, I want a sandwich.
Well,
and I don't want a taco.
What, man? Well, I'm going to ask the guy because there's a new restaurant in town called Barrio Dog, and he's bringing in grub.
Go on.
He's bringing grub in today, and it's like a Chicano hot dog joint.
Well, when I think Barrio Dog, does that mean he heated it up over the gas flame on the oven, on the stove?
Dude,
just rolled it around on the gas flame like I did?
No,
sir. Is that not the Barrio way?
No.
Oh.
He's doing it better.
Oh.
I ate one the other day, and it was awesome. I'm going to ask him his thoughts on if it's a sandwich or not.
I think I know what his answer
He's an
would
expert,
be.
right?
Yeah, he would be the expert.
If you own a business, and it's like also if you own a taco shop, I mean, you probably got a good idea.
But see, the problem you run into, because it's such a fluid definition, is I don't really want to be defined. Because if I'm Barrio Dog and I want to move into the strip center that has a Subway, I want to be defined as something that's not a sandwich, just so I can do my business.
I feel you.
So
man.
I don't want to come out on the record saying one thing or the other.
I feel you. Well, congratulations to Eloy, who is registered to go to ACL. So we've got 3 more to register tomorrow, and then we're going to give those bad boys away. All right, every day around this time, we like to take a look around what they're doing in the desert, see how we can make a little money. I lost a little money yesterday.
Darius Garland is no friend of the A.J. Hoffman house.
Yeah, I had 2 wagers last night. Oh, I'll just say, let's do the daily lines.
Let's hear them.
I saw Edwin there waiting with his hand on the button.
Look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
Now I'll bitch about my losers from last night. I had the Celtics -9 in the first half. I was like, man, 14.5 points feels like a lot. I'll just say they'll get out there early and then they'll coast. And the exact opposite happened. They looked like trash in the whole first half. They were tied for most of the first half. And then I said, they're going to definitely run away and hide in the second half. And they did, of course. So egg on my face. But I also said, Darius Garland over 21.5 points.
Felt like a natural to me.
And
I'd have done the same.
If you tell me that, you tell me that Allen's out, that Spider's out, and Karis LeVert's out. Yeah, this is Darius Garland show.
A lot of shots to be had.
Well, guess what? There were a lot of shots. He just couldn't make one. It's like, make one. I think it was 3 of 14. So my handicap was strong. I blame Darius for this.
Too.
I blame Darius. Only one game in the tonight, and that is the Nugs and the Wolves.
Now, I'm looking at 2.5. What do you see?
2.5 seems to be the consensus. T-Wolves 2.5 point favorites at home. Do they stay alive, or does Jokic stick the dagger through their heart tonight? By the way, the total in this one, 205. Yeah, man. In any elimination game, I lean to unders.
Yeah, I've got 204.5.
Okay.
Which is
It opened at 206. It's been moving down.
Well, okay, when you see it moving down, that's money going toward the Timberwolves. They're going on the defensive side of this thing, right?
I would think so, yeah, because the T-Wolves are looked at as a defensive team.
I'm zagging.
You liking Timberwolves?
I'm taking Timberwolves as a gentleman's goodbye. I think they're going to play. I think Anthony's going to bring enough to get him a win. It's not going to be enough to save them, but it'll be a worthy win tonight. I like them.
One thing that worries me is 68% of the tickets are on 57. 57% of the tickets are on the Nuggets, 76% of the cash.
Yeah.
So it means all the big bets are going to the Nuggets.
It would be an easy goodbye. And we talked about it. There's a reason that if you saw the T-Wolves show up like the Pacers did the other night or like Cleveland did last night, it would be understandable.
Yeah.
But I just don't think – I think that there's enough there to keep it close enough to where I like the Timberwolves. But at least the line.
The New York Ice Hockey Rangers are at the Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes minus 157. Total 5.5. Ooh, that is defensive hockey right there when you got a 5.5 total. I'm going to be staying away from this game. I haven't followed the Eastern Conference games all that closely, so I don't have a good vibe on it. Edmonton and Vancouver. Edmonton minus 140 to get this thing over with tonight. I thought there was going to be a bunch of fighting last time. They didn't fight. They didn't do anything. It was boring. I'm not going to have any action on either of these hockey games. I just don't feel I don't feel the draw. If I was going to make a play, it'd be on Edmonton, but I'm not on a night where I don't have to stay up late to watch basketball. I'm not going to stay up late and watch a hockey game that I don't really care about the result to. So I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to tell you where my money's going to be tonight, Rob.
I'm waiting.
Rotation number 601, the New York Liberty is at the Indiana Fever.
Come on, hater. Why are you sending money after the hate?
I'm just trying to get these bucks, my friend. Just trying to get these bucks. The Liberty are 8-point favorites on the road at Indiana. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I didn't watch much lady basketball when I was in Vegas. It was a kind of a popular thing there. Like the Aces were the most, I think they were the best selling in the pre-Caitlin era.
Yeah.
They had the best attendance. I never went to a game, but they were obviously very good. In that time, the only team that ever beat them consistently or gave them good games consistently was New York.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the second best team.
They are the second best team.
I just saw the Connecticut Sun beat the Indiana Fever by 20. The New York Liberty is going to thrash this team. Nobody wants to it, and then nobody wants to say, well, Caitlin's a loser.
You're taking a road 8-point bump.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
All right. You're a bold man, AJ Hoffman.
I mean, listen,
you're discounting the greatness that is Kate.
All I need is about 10 turnovers.
Well, she's got that in her bag.
That's her average. She's averaging 10 turnovers a game. Like, how does she not turn it over 10 times? That's her average. So give me the Liberty -8 on the road. You can call me crazy, but don't call me asking for money because I'm winning that bet. Christian Javier takes the hill for the Stros tonight. The Stros are -200, big favorites, hosting the A's. Joey Estes on the mound for Oakland, total of 9. So another offensive explosion projected. If there is an offensive explosion, I favor the Astros, even though, man, they've been frustrating this whole year. But it is a short slate in Major League Baseball. The Rangers, one of many teams with the day off. I'll give you a play that I do like. And it is, well, first of all, Tyler Glasnow is just a monster. He's -312. The Dodgers are -312 against the Reds. I'm not laying 312 on any baseball game, but take a look at the strikeout prop for Glasnow. He just continues to be double-digit strikeout guy. So, and he got an extra day of rest this time. I imagine he'll be dealing tonight. The game that I'm interested in, though, is Pittsburgh and Chicago, Pittsburgh and the Cubs. The total in that game is 7.5. I like the under in that game. Jared Jones is pitching for Pittsburgh. He's one of the guys that they've got a lot of confidence in. They look at as like a kind of a future star for them, like the number 2 to Mitch Keller's number 1. And Justin Steele, over the last couple of years, has proven to be one of the solid starters for the Cubs. So give me a low-scoring game out in Wrigley. So that one set at 7.5, like I said. I'll go under 7.5 runs there.
Cubs are hot, man.
Yeah.
7 runs yesterday. Is that wind going out?
That would kill me. But like I said, I'm playing the pitching matchup here. I really like this Jones kid. I think he's got something. So I'm gonna ride that. I'm gonna ride that pony.
I just put 50 bits tokens on the New York Liberty.
Let's go, Liberty Bibbity.
You talked me into it.
Liberty Bibbity, baby.
Are you
gonna watch
Caitlin? I'm a WNBA. Of course I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my jersey on.
Yeah.
And ready. Hearts right here. WNBA, right?
I'm quickly Googling who the New York Liberty best player is. So I'll know what jersey you have. Oh, Sabrina Ionescu.
I've got Sabrina's on.
Or Brianna Stewart.
Well, I'd rather have Brianna's, but I've got Sabrina's on.
Or Courtney Vandersloot. Or Markeisha Davis. Yeah, there's a lot of good players on that team. All of them really good. Jonquel Jones, everybody knows her game. So, yeah, I think
if she can get off work, she is going to.
I mean, y'all are in trouble, friends.
But she's working a double at the taco sandwich shop.
Y'all are a famous taco. Y'all are in trouble when that New York Liberty comes to town.
Man, I hope the hating makes me some money. You're going to bring me on.
I mean, all you're doing here is you're playing against public sentiment.
See,
and
I want the wind at her sails. I don't want to be the thing that's hindering the greatness.
You don't have to. You don't. It's not. I mean, listen, you're not doing it. All you're doing is reacting to public money, pushing a number where it shouldn't be.
I feel like I'm walking up to a craps table that's heating up and going no pass. Here you go. All in. Let's do it. I just want to ruin the table for you. I hope y'all having fun.
It does feel terrible doing that, but it feels nice when it wins, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I could laugh to the bank. Now, I might get beat up by the 9 guys around the table, but yeah, okay.
So let's see. I'm looking at the regular season last year for the Liberty, and it's a bunch of, let's see, 17-point win, 16-point win, 8-point win, 23-point win, 9-point win. When they don't play the aces, they just win. Last year, they played at Indiana. No Caitlin Clark, mind you, for Indiana. They won 95-87. That's 8 points.
See, I need 10. I need 9 now, don't I? We're at 8.
Yeah. I mean, 8's a push. You'll still be all right with a push.
No, I'm not halfway on this. We ain't pushing nothing.
All right.
If I'm going to hate, I'm going to hate. I want to get paid for it. I can be bought.
Their other game at Indiana last year, they won by 11.
There we go. All right, I'm feeling better, but I don't like gambling against Miss Caitlin Clark.
The game at home against Indiana, they won by 18. This, and the other one they won by 17. They dominated this team last year. Dominated.
Miss Caitlin Clark is the difference maker.
Her 10 turnovers is not going to make the difference. Trust me, bro. Trust me. I mentioned that Friday. The Blitz is going to do a show today, but they're also going to do a show tomorrow. Or at least half of them are going to do a show. Where is Joe?
He's in a golf tournament that I know of. Is he here today?
I don't know. Joe? No one knows. Man, how much time off does Joe get?
Well, it's Joe Reinagel.
I don't think he's on today.
Yeah, he's not around. I know life because he was late night group chatting last night about his.
I know. Doesn't he know we got to go to sleep?
It didn't feel like
he was buzzing up our phone,
imminent to come to work today,
and he ain't coming tomorrow. I can tell you that. I know that because I'm filling in for him tomorrow, 2 to 6:30. The Blitz is going to be at Retama Park to get ready for the second leg of the Triple Crown, the Preakness they call that one. That's this Friday from 2 to 6:30 out at Retama Park.
Oh, bonus 30 minutes on top of this.
That's right, Bubba.
Right.
Rob's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Jason Minix is going to be there.
I won't be there in an official capacity.
Yeah, Rob's going to be there hammering
drinking,
hammering beers, baby, and just winning hand over fist. We might have an expert on tomorrow to give us a winner on the Preakness. That's what I would like.
We're trying. We're efforting as we speak.
Someone mentioned in the brigade chat that I should have gotten Will Doctor on. Will, who's like my buddy, who's a
what time would you like to have our expert, AJ?
You name it, baby.
We will have him on in the well, we'll figure it out. But he will be here. Our good friend Dick
he's
Girardi.
in tomorrow.
He had some money for you. He had him in the wrap last week. If you go back to the sounds, Dick Girardi will be with us tomorrow. Time to be decided.
I think we're also going to have Adrian Yanez on tomorrow, who fights in the UFC this weekend. He's fighting in the Apex, a Texas boy. And I will get Will Doctor, my golf guru. He'll be on next time there's a major. I blew it. I was busy, being the new guy. Had a lot on my plate.
Just reading the brigade bar. You were busy reading the bar.
But I am going to get him before the next major because this dude is just making people money hand over fist. He's up like 60 units on the season betting golf. Like he's hit, I don't know how many outright winners he hit last season. That were like one of them was 50-1. And it's like, oh yeah, no big deal. Just hit a 50-1 outright winner this week. So we'll have him on as the golf season progresses. But yeah, it should be a busy day to finish out tomorrow. And then, like I said, I'm going to double dip and do the show out at Retama Park. So come out and say hi to us there.
Yes, please.
I haven't had a chance to meet many of the people. Would love to meet you. Would love for you to tell me how much the show sucks since I've gotten here. And also, if you like the show, it'd be cool to hear that as well. Yeah, I mean, preferably not while I'm on the air. Don't touch me while I'm on the air.
I have a standard. Just don't touch me.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb.
You can get close. Just don't get close.
How about a fist bump?
There we go. That's what we
put out
do.
your fist.
We dab up. That's what we do.
I'll bump the old fist and look like we'll have ourselves a time. And hopefully we're all making each other rich tomorrow out there at that racetrack. I got a damn good feeling. All right.
Show 9 in the books.
I mean, how are we doing this,
Count
Rob?
this a W. We're 9 in a row. We're on a 9-game win streak.
I don't remember the last time we lost. Never lost. Sorry you weren't here for all those, Edwin. I mean, I guess we can't really count you as a 9-game winning streak.
Well, it was his energy coming off the IR that brought us through today.
I mean, he burst through the door today. Yeah. He's like, "I'm back, bitches."
Well, I'll be running the board tomorrow.
Okay.
During the blitz.
Maybe you can add another one to your streak. All right, stay tuned for the blitz this afternoon. Appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you, Vic. Edwin, appreciate you guys listening. It's been fun. The Morning Huddle, 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
This